Yeah, I meant to pick them up and I forgot. Thanks. That's Kim calling me because we're coming on early because we were going to come on after Tony, UTG, and then man, all of a sudden they just closed right quickly. So man, I still put my shoes on. Had to hustle up here. So I'm at the shop, and Kim's on her way, and we'll continue on where Tony left off, except we're a few minutes late for that. But I originally planned to come in at 9, and so we came in early. But that's okay. We're here early. Um, and I left my drinks down there, my little packages of stuff I pour in the water. So Kim's bringing that up. Man, Daryl B's here, maybe. It's here at 7:38. One-eyed cat. Say you'll be in bed by then. Well, thanks for stopping by. Paul Pachui, I'll try to stay awake as long as I possibly can, but I've been up since 4:20 this morning. Oh, that's not good. So I'm not going to make any promises. You'd probably be sleeping with this running in the background. I do that. Sometimes I'm sleeping and I'm dreaming that I'm alive, and then I wake up and I missed it. So yeah, I don't know. I did that when I was learning to speak Russian. It was okay if we had those tape recorders, those cassette tape recorders, and I used to record the classes, and then I'd go home and I'd play them while I was sleeping. I'd dream I was in class, and it was a little repetitive. I learned a lot of Russian while I was sleeping. Oh, let's see here, buddy Carfano, how you doing? And Barrows, good evening. Good to see you here. And Olive's here, and Crash's Roadrunner Garage, and Kim just walked in the door.
Hey everybody, early night.
So yeah, we just came up.
Cleanup crew just getting started.
Yeah, the cleanup crew got here earlier. Had to get here early, so we hustled. And now we're here early. Well, we decided to. I mean, I planned this for when Tony was finished, but he wrapped it up early. So when he wrapped it up, I said, "Oh no, we got to hurry."
Oh, we're fine. They don't mind. They probably did something useful.
All of said, yeah. Kathy needed to take some meds or something. She was not feeling good. I'm trying to get all my buttons pushed and everything here. There, I got that done. Olive says, I invited Ox Auto by to see if we can brainstorm about torsion bar issue.
Oh, who said that?
Olive.
Torsion bar.
Oh, buddy said it right off. The car is missing. It's not missing. It's out my driveway in front of the house.
Stole it.
I've been daily driving it for 2 days. And
that's true. And you haven't. What's your most significant problem you're having?
Most significant problem? Windshield wipers got duct tape around them to keep them from scraping the window. But I got new wipers today. I just haven't put them on. So yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's just a thing.
What about the brake light went out, didn't it?
The brake lights work, but there's some, there's 2 bulbs on each side, and
no, I mean the brake emergency.
Oh yeah, the light that's on the dash that says brakes. It was on, and we didn't know why. We assumed we just hadn't centered up the because we did all the hydraulics, so we thought we just hadn't centered up the switch, and it went out. So I'm not sure why it went out. Kim thinks it's spring loaded.
Fixed itself.
It's meant to go out, so
it's healing.
It fixed itself. And Olive, man, I'm dumping stuff off. I ran my hand across here and just mowed everything off the top of the desk. Okay, Olive says I can't spell torsion, really. Yeah, I noticed that, but she got it. So you know how to do it. You just wrote it wrong once.
Yeah.
Barrows, what's up with the torsion bars? Okay. Kim's here. Yeah, where are you going? Where are you going?
I want it up here.
Want the camera in a different spot.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, that camera actually works pretty good there. It's just got to be turned this way more.
I know, but I want it up a little bit so we can aim down so you can see what I'm doing.
Oh, get your other
camera.
Get your other camera.
I don't want to do dual camera if we can help it tonight.
Don't want to do dual cameras.
If we can prevent it, yeah. It's like.
Buddy Carfano says, "Hope you can drive better than you run a tiller." Man, there's like a real deep spot right there, and I got that thing, and it started to tip over. I'm like, Cam, I'm tipping this thing over.
Well, I guess his driving is better. He doesn't need help drive.
I could drive okay. I don't drive in holes like that. Man, I'm already gonna kill a commercial there. There, I just killed the first commercial. That came in too soon.
Too soon.
And then, what do you do? She's behind the monitor digging for something. Every time we want something off a shelf, it's always behind something else.
Everything is behind something else. That's the.
Oh, it says, well, Bear, he's having an issue on his charger. One of them doesn't have enough travel. He tries to lower it. I suspect he may have it one step off on the key at this point. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Gearhead 6971. Good evening, Terry Mott. Hello, Kim. I'm gonna take a quick walk to the other side of the shop for a minute, which is kind of nice. I just walked through where the car used to be. I'm out of water and I want water.
Oh, perfect.
That's all.
I'll allow it.
Can you imagine how warm it is in here with no fire?
It's beautiful tonight.
Yes.
Sorry, you don't want dead air. No dead air. Gearhead says good evening. Hey, buddy, Barrows. I'm not going to do points until 9 o'clock because that's the appointed start time. We start early, it's bonus material. But I'm going to give points to everyone here who's here at 9 for everybody showing up early. There's a whole bunch of people here already.
Yeah.
That's good. What's the conversation? Oil Dom Press is here. Welcome to the stream. Terry Mott, welcome to the stream.
Well,
Gearhead says it's cold up there.
What's the temperature in here? It's like 72 degrees in the shop.
With no fire.
With no fire going.
Yep. It's pretty good. Here, you can have your chair back.
I can have my chair back.
Yeah, I'm working on this little, making a little thing for the stuff.
Making a thing for the stuff.
Yep.
Butter dish. See, that happened in here. I was looking for something and Kim was trying to find it and then she's over behind something and I'm like, she says to me, it's in the, oh, she hadn't gone back there yet. She says it's in the, and she couldn't think of what it was and she said butter dish.
He was saying, what, where is it? And I'm like, and the only word that made sense in my brain was butter dish.
So now, every time I'm looking for stuff, she tells me it's in the butter dish. Hey, that's pretty good. You just see the top of my hat. This is not good. I need a high chair. Look at this. They're looking at my emblem.
Well, maybe it's not like you have a bald spot.
I gotta look up.
I
always wear a hat.
Yeah, that's too high. I'll agree with you.
That's too high.
Way too high. I'm working. It's going to be up.
I don't know why you don't want to.
Maybe you can put the seat up a little bit.
I don't know why you don't want to run a second camera. We have all this cool stuff here. Yeah, all this cool stuff.
I will run the second camera because it keeps glitching.
Because it keeps glitching. Something wrong with it. Most expensive camera in the building and it glitches.
It glitches because it's the most expensive.
It's the most expensive camera, so it glitches.
Honestly.
Buddy Carfano says 35 and rain in Massachusetts. Well, at least it's rain and not. Oh God, it could get colder though and turn to ice.
Live streaming is just a pain in the butt. That's why live television is always a special thing. You know how much money they spend on sports to make all that stuff work? It is absurd, the amount of money.
Well, we do it with less than they do.
Live sports work, they've got $1 million cameras up in the sky.
We do it
with
less money than they do it.
Yeah, that's right. We do it on a shoestring budget. You get shoestring results.
Well, occasionally. I did put those paper towels there because they were blocking the screen.
Sometimes it works really good, and that's awesome. But generally, it's troublesome.
Paul says it's nice here. I was expecting heavy rain by now. I want this crazy pollen washed away. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we went out there and tilled up a bunch of ground and put other stuff in the dirt and more tiller and fertilized it. And then we planted a lot of corn and garlic and onions.
Corn and garlic.
Corn and garlic and onions.
Yeah,
I thought you put onions too. So we wanted to get that done before the rain because yesterday it was supposed to rain. Well, it did rain. Oh shit! That was a crash.
I couldn't stop it. I'm just glad it didn't hit you.
Well, no, it hit. Look, all the stuff it hit stopped it from hitting me.
Oh, it's ruined.
It's ruined.
$4,000 worth of damage at least.
So anyway, it did rain yesterday, so it rained after we planted, which is what we wanted. And so the day before was the day we had to do it then. And then we have rain coming, what, tomorrow or the next day or something.
Yeah,
so now I'm a farmer now, and I have to worry about when it rains. You know, last year we planted, and as soon as we planted, stopped raining.
There wasn't
there wasn't a drop of rain for a month.
You guys honestly should pay us to plant crops, because that's what stops it from raining. Spring rains end when we plant.
So, but last year we were too late. This year we wanted to get with it, and this is the right time. So
this is the right time. That's true.
It's not gonna freeze again here.
I was in the right place. Do you need this little table? Can I put it on the other side of you or something?
No, we can put it somewhere else. I'll get the radio. You can get I'll turn the radios off so they don't hiss and make noise, whatever they do.
Because I got stuff.
Okay, what can I do to help you? You're banging into me. Can I move? Okay, I guess you got by.
You're moved.
And
Here's
snow forecast for Tuesday, Wednesday in North Dakota. Oh man, I'm glad I don't live up there anymore. You know, the Northeast is just too much for me. That's why I moved here. Northeast was too much for me. And the northern Midwest. I was in South Dakota for a year and a half. Brookings, South Dakota, which is further south than North Dakota. So it should be warmer, but it was pretty darn cold there.
I was so worn out from gardening, I slept for 2 days. 2 days.
Our boss called hats brain buckets. Yeah, that's what a helmet is, a brain bucket.
Put that up.
Yeah.
I don't know where it goes.
Yeah, not here.
Somewhere
not
else.
there. Okay, and then let's see here. So I'm trying to get caught up here. Link to Ox Auto's place in his torsion issues. Okay, good. You got thank you, Barrows. Got a link up. Raw Dog, we got rain and ice in Wisconsin. I guess that's now we got like 2 or 4 inches of snow on frozen rain, snow covered. Man, I don't miss that at all. I'm so glad I'm out of the north. That whole thing from when I was South Dakota and Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio, all those places, even Maryland to a certain extent, although Maryland wasn't as bad. I thought it was going to be as bad, but it wasn't. But still, you get big piles of snow sometimes. Also, you guys look like you have storm incoming up there, Buff. I got ripped off today by the forecast, but tomorrow's we need more rain coming in because I want to get where we planted. I want that to get good and wet, so that's okay. And I've got new windshield wipers for my car. I can put those on. Those are an easy installation. Everything works so well. And I'm actually I got to go to a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm gonna drive my car to the doctor. Man.
Should I drive the Dart? I don't think I should.
No, wait till, because I'm busy, and then if you have problems, I can't come get you. I'll be laying on a table in a doctor's office.
We're both sorting our cars, and it's just early spring, and we're doing sorting on our cars. That's nice. I've got all kind of other projects moving around, too. I got 4 engines running the other day. It was nice. I got the rototiller running. I got this mini bike running. Like running where I could ride it around in the yard.
Running where it almost ran away from you.
Well, it's how it is when it starts. You gotta have. You need 4 hands to start it. You need 1 on the brake, 1 on the throttle, just a little bit, 1 to pull, and then I don't know what the 4th one is. What was the other?
I don't know, but it took off and the wrench was on the seat. It fell off and you got it stopped. She was fixing somebody else's mower. And it stopped. That thing landed like this far from the mower before she got it stopped. And it's
the lights aren't on.
The lights aren't on. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I came up here kind of just in a hurry.
He was in a firestorm hurry. He was like, Tony's done. We got to go up there. I'm like, well, nobody will even know we're going.
Well, except I already told everybody in Tony's that we were going to go live as soon as Tony was finished. And then Tony finished. Oh, yeah, there we got some more light. So Tony finished.
Well, now that your car is done, one of the sorting episodes will be you have to drive down there and see Tony, so he can get a look at the car.
He'll see my Fox body
because he likes the Fox bodies, doesn't he? Isn't that the generation of Mustangs that he ran? He was talking about.
Yeah, Fox bodies. Yeah. Although he says he'll never go back to them, but he likes them. Let's see. Terry Mott says Greek mythology Zephyrus or Zephyr symbolizes a gentle west wind, the messenger of spring and favorable mild breeze. My grandparents lived in a place called Zephyr Hills in Florida. That was the first time I heard that. Zephyr Hills. It's 29. Blowing and drifting roads are so bad, nobody's out driving. Yeah.
That's bad. Whew. I don't like that. I think I can do this without. I can just go straight into.
So Dr. Go, who lives up there tonight's probably Dr. Stopped.
Yeah, Doctor, don't
go.
Don't get out there. It's dangerous.
Maybe he'll come in here.
Maybe.
Raw dog 420 and low of 23. That's like winter here. That's like severe winter. I'm so glad we're done with that. I mean, we made it. Kim, we made it through winter again. It's like we should have a celebration. We made it through winter. It wasn't long ago. It was Groundhog Day, and I said, well, if worst possible cases, it's only 6 weeks till spring.
Yeah.
Or till the end of winter, and we got it.
All right,
we're good.
Bear with me a second. I'm going to click around. Kim, did you get your friend's car? You know what? My friend did come over.
Mm-hmm.
She brought the accelerator pedal. She took all the parts with her so that she would have them in case there was some kind of issue. But we put it in. It sucked because I had to stand on my head. That's right. I had to fix. That's a fifth vehicle. But she drove it here. It starts throwing
She
errors.
drove it here and she drove it away.
Funny after you drive it for a while. So it's really inconclusive. Like there was no way to know if we fixed it. She just has to drive it. So we did put the new accelerator pedal in. And since it's drive-by-wire, there's no cable or anything like that. It plugs into the harness. And we don't have, it was a what, 2017 or 2019? It was a really new vehicle.
Some kind of a GMC.
So we didn't have a code reader to plug in and reset the codes or anything like that.
GMC, some kind of SUV.
But she'll know in a day or two of driving it whether it's fixed. Because it was giving her that code all the time.
What happens when she gets the code, something happens, and she's got to stop and turn everything off and wait a minute.
Yeah.
Start all back up, and then it's good again for a while. So
all right, let's see if we can get the other. Good. Sorry for the black screen.
Oh, yeah, we got a black screen for a second while she's connecting cameras.
There you go.
There's the camera.
There you go. So when I'm ready to work, we'll be able to. Oh, boy. Focus is bad.
It looks pretty good to me, I guess.
I can do better.
Where do you focus? On the Coleman?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and focus on.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was. See.
Yeah, you're also creeping it some direction. I don't know how.
Well, it's harder than it looks to look at the screen.
I just thought you might want to know. Okay.
Go past. That's probably.
And then I was in here yesterday cleaning the floor. Place, to get a car out of here and start just sweeping and cleaning everything before a friend got here. And there's a paper towel on the floor, like that we've been wiping grease with it or something, but it was starting to dry out. And I reached out and I picked it up to put it in the trash, and there was something sharp in it. And I was like, you that hurt. Tell
this part of the story.
That hurt. And I looked down, and there's one of those brown paper wasps on my finger just going, stinging me. And I threw him on the floor and stomped him out. But my finger, I don't know if you can see that. One finger, which one is it? One finger is much bigger than the other one. This one is much bigger.
Here in person.
And it is hard as a rock. And it's
all puffed up.
This is what, 28, maybe 30 hours ago?
Grandma Vic is here. Welcome to the stream.
Hey. Luis
Miguel is here. Welcome.
And
Gearhead says that's one thing he doesn't like about a 2015. Lag from the DBW on throttle response.
Well, yeah, drive-by-wire. I always say
drive-by-wire.
I always say fly-by-wire because that's what everything I worked on, fly-by-wire.
I got to say, we have that Jeep Patriot, and it is fly-by-wire. And there is lag, but for just driving around, it's fine. It responds pretty well. It's not like the snappiest vehicle I've ever owned, but it goes. It's okay.
Well, this thing on my finger, puffed up, is like an understatement. It is puffed up, but it's not squishy. It is just hard like a rock. And Kim, look at this. From this side, can you see the color?
Yeah, it's bright pink. Don't quit pushing on it. What's going to happen is you're going to make it sore.
Oh, I didn't even see that. See that? That's where you got me right there. Yeah. That little bastard.
Quit pushing on it. All right.
No, I I haven't turned around far enough to see the red. I didn't know it was red.
Oil Dom Press says, cool toy, Kim. I myself have two 1969 Sierra Trail Boss 6x6s. One is done, the other is a garage project. Nice. That would, I think we would rather have something that was not a two-wheeler. The both of us are getting to the age where we would prefer, and it's a little more like you can't do anything but move around with this. But like he likes his tractor, you know, and
Yeah,
I
my garden tractor. I like that. Yeah,
yeah
look at this. What was the stuff you just mixed up for me? Was that Epsom salts?
yeah.
That's what Gearhead says, Epsom salts. Yeah, maybe I hadn't thought about that.
If
We'll
you
just
soak it in
stick
Epsom
this in
salts,
it.
it'll pull some of the poison out. But I think it's a little bit late
Oh, this
to
thing is.
see results.
I've had a lot of stings, but I've never had one do this before. That's why they're 120 millimeter and 170 millimeter throttle body. It gets back throttle response with the bigger throttle body.
Oh, okay. See, as much as we enjoy learning about and watching other people do their performance projects, I mean, we are still in the zone of having practical vehicles that are reasonable with their fuel economy, that are very streetable, and as that's happening, now that his car is on the road and he has his daily driver, and then we have the Jeep, so we have two daily driverable vehicles. It's not so scary to once again poke around at some of these other vehicles. And we achieved another runner, the Spitfire
Oh,
came to life.
it just came to life. No, you brought it to life.
I cleaned the points and it cranked. All I did was hook up a battery and jump the relay, and it cranked. I have already cleaned out the carburetor. In the fall, I had a moment that the weather was bad and I needed something to do, so I took the carburetor off and bench cleaned it. And it wasn't that bad, but it's all cleaned and dry. There was no crud or anything in it, so we put that on, and I bottle fed it gasoline, and it wouldn't go. I got it to where it had spark. Um,
Hello, Tavo. I'll get in while she's talking for a
down.
second.
And it was spitting and chuffing back through the carburetor, and I'm like, well, that maybe means a bad intake valve. I thought maybe it had stuck valves because that car sat for like 15 years in a shed, and so I took the valve cover off, and it looked really good. I was like, man, that motor looks clean, and the cluster says 78,000 miles, and I was like, well, shoot, it looks like a 78,000 mile engine. You know, there's no crusties or carbon or anything under the valve cover. So I was like, well, so you do the hammer thing, you tap on each valve, and you can tell by the sound and the feel if it's stuck. None of the valves are stuck. I cranked it over and watched them all operate, no bent push rods or anything like that. And I'm like, well, what the heck? So then I go to firing order, right? Like I haven't done anything to the distributor except clean the points good. And so I count out the firing order, and I don't know what the firing order is supposed to be. So I look it up on YouTube, and I get 3 different firing orders, but none of them are what are there. So I take, the one that most people say it is was 1342, I think it was. Anyways, that was 1 and 2 were reversed, and 3 and 4 were reversed. And then it started like that and idled.
I was in the house. I heard it, and I thought it was like a motorcycle across the street or something.
Nice, quiet, smooth idle. Well, I was like, well, heck. So I shut it off, put the valve cover back on, and shut it up. But it's ready to. We have the parts for the hydraulic clutch. We were told that the hydraulic clutch is bad, which makes sense because the rest of the brake system is bad. And 15 years is a long time for a clutch to sit, a hydraulic clutch to sit. So it may need a clutch, or it might just need the hydraulic clutch. But we're not using any of that body. So we're just going to push it in here and strip the body off and see what we need to do to make the frame into something we can build on.
Bunch of people here. Grand Peter Vic's in here, mostly old parts. Well done, press. I think he's already here. Danny Boyd is here. I'm just saying hi to everybody because we've been kind of just talking. Okay, go ahead because you got good stories to tell. And
Buddy Carfano, problem with the Spitfire is it's small and it won't feel safe driving on the road. I would not feel safe driving it on anything other than a little local road, maybe even one of these roads around here that's like 45 miles an hour. People want to go 55
or 65 or 75 in these big jacked up trucks,
and I mean
I don't even think they could see you
on a modern road with no roll bar, nothing like. Woo, I don't know. It's a tiny roadster. But the great thing about that is it'll make a great little trailer queen. He's going to make an aluminum body for it.
We're going to do it. We're going to make an aluminum body. I think we're going to do it in lives in here.
It's light enough that we won't even have to use the car trailer I have. We'll get a little 2-wheel trailer with some E-rated tires on it, and we'll be able to haul it with a 2-wheel trailer behind a van. We won't even feel it back there, and we can take it places for fun, show it off. Maybe take it down a drag strip or something like that, but it's a creative thing. It's not meant to be a race car or anything. It's a creative thing. So, and we don't care that it's just a little, 1200cc engine?
I think. Might be 1300. I don't remember. Yeah, it's a little tiny engine.
The engine's kind of irrelevant. It's just a platform to build on top of. So, if anybody wants to trade this thing for like a 4-wheeler.
Oh, this is a new mini bike with
this engine, a Predator 212 will pull the front wheel on this with the way that I have it set up with the torque converter. Like I didn't think about it, but if you think about it, a 200cc motorbike is pretty strong. Actually, that's a lot of motor. And now that I have the linkage set up so the carburetor is balanced and everything like that, it pulls the front wheel. Like you have to be leaning forward or else it goes.
Steve Edwards is here. Good evening. Have you had a Goldwing? I have never had one. Have you ever had a Goldwing?
Never owned one. I owned a Honda 350 and a Honda 250 and a Kawasaki 185, but that's been back.
I used to ride a Honda 550. It wasn't mine. Ago. It was a friend's, and I'd ride that thing. And he had one of those V-twin Hondas. But I shouldn't be on a motorcycle. That was many, many years ago. And I'd be like in a 35 zone. I'd look down, I'd be going 80 because it felt right, I shouldn't be on a motorcycle. It's too easy to mess up. And I don't have any sense on motorcycles. I don't know why. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat.
Hey, Wendy.
How you doing, Wendy?
Welcome to the stream. It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we can't, for everybody that came in after we lit this thing off. Tony, I put it at 9 because that's when Tony finishes up. UTG. Well, Kathy was not feeling good and that she needed something, and they just 20 after they ended it abruptly. I went, oh no, I'm trying to put my shoes on. Tie my shoes up, I'm going like crazy. I went, Kim, I got to go up there now. And I ran up here and got everything turned on and started the live.
We're doing great.
So that's why we're here early.
As far as a Honda Goldwing, he wanted to try and find an old wrecked Honda Goldwing and use it for the motor instead of this little 1200cc motor because it's nice and low. Center of gravity because it's
and the hood could be sloped down, yeah.
And it has a drive shaft out of the gearbox, so that you would have. Does a Honda Goldwing have a reverse gear in the gearbox?
I don't know if the 6-cylinder does. Maybe I don't know. Does anybody know?
6-cylinder Goldwing?
Yeah, I don't think they call it a Goldwing, but it's like a Goldwing engine, but it's a Post 6. Isn't that what Dougster rides? I think that's what Dougster has, isn't it?
But I found this little Spitfire for $400, and I figured, well, we'll give it a try. And honestly, it is.
Oh,
I'll skip the ads.
skip the
I don't
ads.
want to give ads. You guys can get ads later. It's not. We're just getting ready to start time. I don't want to get ads right at 9. That's just. But yeah, I figured, well, if nothing else, I can park that car out for what I had into it. But now that it runs and it's immediately you can hear when an engine runs tight like that, you can't even distinguish the cylinders. You know it's good. You know it's good. There's no noise in the thing. Even the alternator was running. I'll bet you it was charging. I don't know. It sat for so long in the shed, but everything is roached. It needs tire. All the rubber and everything is all roached, and the body is holes all through it. But the drivetrain's going to be good. Hopefully the transmission. I don't know how long do the train. 71 Spitfire mostly
71.
parts. And I'm sorry if we're missing people's comments. They were talking about a Hudaka Wombat. Is that a real thing?
Hidaka. I remember a bike called a Hidaka when I was very young. Yeah.
I've never seen one like that. Is it a regular motorcycle, or is that like
Well, it's a 125.
quad?
It's a small bike, I think.
Well, it could be a quad, like a Honda 3-wheeler or something like that.
Raining slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs.
Okay.
And Grandma Vic gets the points for 9 p.m.
Oh, that's right. Grandma Vic, you get 3 points for being the very first comment at 9, because we watched the timestamps here.
So what? Those of you who just dropped in, I said I'd be here at 9, which is after UTG, but Kathy didn't feel good, and they shut it down early. So I ran up here, finished tying my shoes in a hurry, ran up here and turned it on, and then Kim came in after. So we came in early. That's why we were already here rolling before 9. But that's good. That's good. Got people.
Grampito Vic came in next. You get 2 points. Buddy Carfano came in. You get 2 points as well. Raw Dog gets 2 points. Raw Dog says I need to build a 3-wheeler. Maybe. I'm going to see what I can trade this for. Maybe I can trade this for 4-wheeler. Golf cart or something would be nice. Little truckster. That'd be handy. Everyone. Oh, I'll tell you about that. I'm so glad you asked, Oil Don Press. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things, and I get to give out points. They're my points. They're Kim points. They have lots of value for things that we're not sure about yet. Dougster of Dougster Wolverine Garage, he keeps track of points redemption. So you'll have to talk to him at some point.
But we don't keep track of points. It's up to you to keep track of your own points.
That's right. I don't have a database. I don't have a spreadsheet. I award the points. It's an on your honor system. You keep track of your points. Add them up. I don't know. Write them on the back of your hand. Punch them into a schedule in your telephone. But don't get crazy. I know that I haven't given out thousands of points to anybody.
We got a Subaru out here, Subaru wagon. That's
if you've got 50 points,
you have to get it.
Come and pick up that Subaru. There's extra Subaru engines in it. It's probably worth, I don't know, maybe $200. That Subaru, so for 50 points, so what's that make? Each point worth like what? $4, so but you have to come to Clarksville, Tennessee to pick it up.
You're gonna need a trailer or something.
Yeah.
The Goldwing uses the starter motor to power reverse. Really? Lester Saber.
Oh, I've heard of that.
See, that would work on a light car.
See, but that's the thing, right? Is it have to be a super light car because the whole transmission and everything is intended to power a super light vehicle. So if you got into something too big, you damage that stuff.
That car, that Spitfire with aluminum body on it, that's not going to be a real heavy car. I doubt that thing will be much over 1,000 pounds.
Let's hope not. Well, there's lots of people talking now. Oh, I wanted to say, everyone who is here at 9 o'clock, so if you can hear the sound of my voice right now, I'm giving you 2 points for being early birds. Everybody, right? If you have already made a comment in chat, you get an additional point because, I don't know, YouTube likes when people are interacting with the stream. It keeps track. It says chat rate 5. We have a chat rate of 5. Which I don't know what the heck that means, except 5. And that's important to YouTube statistics. They want to know how many and we are 5. So, but there's a bunch of people here tonight. So thanks everybody for stopping in to say hello. And we are in the shop. We have camera 2. I think Elgato was working. Let's see. We do. We have 2 cameras.
Well, because the car's out here, we got space. We can walk around. It's nice.
I am Kim. My channel is Kim Fixes Things. We don't stream from Kim Fixes Things, but I put some YouTube videos up sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I'll make something about this mini bike sometime, or one of these trucks that I've been working on.
Papa Joey says, "What's the maximum amount of points one can achieve per night?" We don't have.
There is no cap, but I cannot remember the last time I gave out more than 5 points for any one thing, and it's usually more like 2, or if I'm really happy, I'll give out 3 points. But I don't think I've ever given out maybe more than 10 points.
You know, people really make points is when I can't. My dead brain can't remember something. And I go, you know, that guy that did. No, and I start explaining what he did, and then somebody will name the guy, and she'll go 3 points.
But see, that caps, because usually that's only like once per story that he's really stuck, and his stories can get long. So if we go by, you know, 1 set of points giveaways per story, that's maybe only 3 points giveaways a night, you know?
I was talking to somebody today or yesterday, not on here.
It's not 300 points for a perfect night. No, we've never been close.
And it's a guy that I can't think of his name right now. He was the designer for AMC, all in the late. I can't see the email tonight. I can't think of his name. He was the designer for AMC for years anyway. Mostly old parts. Email sent. Here's the deal. We're up here in the shop.
Yeah, we don't do the green screen photos things on shop nights.
But Tuesday night, whatever, I'll check my email when I get home. But so yeah, on Tuesday nights, we got a setup on Tuesday nights so we can do everything.
Welcome for saying hello, Space Cat. Good to see you.
Hey, Chris is here.
Yes. Best chainsaws. I don't know. We have a really cheap chainsaw, and we have a battery-powered chainsaw.
We have a Chinese clone.
The battery-powered chainsaws has twice as many blank links as a regular chainsaw, so it cuts very slow.
There's 3 points. Lester LeSabre, Dick Teague. I couldn't think of him.
Oh, okay. There you go. You got 3 points. See, it can happen that fast. And some nights I feel stingy. I'm like, I don't want to give out points.
Dick Teague was he was the AMC designer. Pretty much the whole design team was Dick Teague. What a guy.
Olive says the point rate really varies. It does. It's wildly, but you know what? It's like they're just for fun, right? They don't. It's not a contest. It's just a reward for having people here, and we are carefully investigating swag, as you might call it, right?
Swag. Buying
T-shirts for people can become prohibitively expensive. I would love to buy T-shirts for people, but I don't know that we can do that. Maybe for memberships, in exchange for memberships, we could do T-shirts or something like that.
Somebody asked about T-shirts?
No, I'm just saying. And what do you give away to people that they want, right?
Old Subaru.
Toaster oven. Dougster has assigned that we have to give a chrome toaster to someone if they want for, what is it, 150? See, Dougster, welcome to the stream, Dougster. We were talking about you just a little bit earlier, that you are the person who's responsible in regard to points redemption. Dougster has to verify. He's supposed to be here all the time keeping a spreadsheet. Yeah, he keeps track of the things that we have for points redemption. But right now, it's just a Subaru and a toaster. But I would love to have like shirts and something laser engraved sounds cool. And stickers would be cool. What was the thing that somebody knows, what was the thing that we were talking about? Hey, that'd be great to have on a sticker. What was the thing? Does anybody remember? I'll give you points if you remember.
This one-eyed cat says she has so many points. Who is? I just saw somebody else. Daryl B is here. Good evening.
6 sliced toast. Where are we supposed to get?
And Dizzy Izzy says, so this is where the cool folks are hanging.
I mean,
I hope so.
A lot of the people here are cool, and you know them because they're around in a lot of the automotive circles. An old school blender. Oh, like a stand blender or one of those hand ones. I'll have to go thrifting to find one. Man.
Mustache on a sticker. You know my little logo that has that white mustache. Mug with the name of your shop. Does our shop have a name? Yeah, I just call it the shop. The building.
It's Buff Del Campo.
Buff Del Campo is the name of the.
It's Campo del Campo.
It's the Campo del Campo. Okay.
Yeah, car camp.
Car camp. Yeah, that's what we have, a car camp.
What's...
Oh, my former wife.
Oh, wait.
My former wife hasn't been here in a long time. She came by and saw us. We had a nice visit and everything. But the first words out of her mouth was, "Are you sure you have enough cars?" Some places covered with cars. Yeah. The thing is, none of them run, except, well, I guess a few of them run.
Campo del Buff? Campo del Buff.
DEI?
100K points wins a DeLorean? I'll go with that, but I'm never giving out 100K points.
So where are we going to get a DeLorean to give away?
You know, I didn't say it would be a good DeLorean. I'll find you a DeLorean. The amount of time I spend on Facebook Marketplace. Mostly old parts, says the 3-inch magnetic parts tray would be cool. Yeah, I'll give you that. We can make something out of fiberglass or epoxy resin. Scratch and sniff stickers.
Jeez. Of course, you know what those are originally for. We could make, so you go like this and you scratch me and it smells like 98 gear lube.
Smell-o-vision. I'm surprised they haven't come up with that yet.
Or taste, like you're watching a
cooking show. You know what? If they do those brain implants, they could absolutely do smells. Go ahead.
Well, I say, you know, these cooking shows, you could take a thing and you put it in your mouth on your tongue, and then you can taste the food because it does electronically somehow affects your taste buds. They're probably not going to do that.
Dougster, don't write us a check that we can't cash for this. Get DeLoreans, 100K DeLoreans. Everybody will collectively get all their points together and claim the DeLorean for somebody. Then we'll have to deliver. Although that would be kind of cool.
What is booming out there?
That would be kind of cool if everybody in chat collectively figured out that they did have 100K points, and then they gave somebody, a deserving person, a DeLorean, and then we'd have to do it. We couldn't really say no. But Dougster, it would be better to promise out something that we already possess. But scavenger hunts are fun. Scavenger hunts are fun.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Here we go. We're gonna get rained on.
Ow, man.
That's right here. That's what that
I
booming is outside.
Grumble.
That's that rumbling is out there. Is that red place? Oh yeah, that's a big old thing. That's our garden will be watered.
Mostly old parts asked if he can redeem his shop and save green stamps for Kim points.
S&H green stamps. Is that what that meant? S&H was the name of the green stamps that I don't think you can use those for anything. There used to be S&H green stamp stores, and after you collected all these stamps and put them in the books, you go in and so many books you could buy toasters and stuff.
Oh, Dougster says Hot Wheels doesn't make a DeLorean? I never said it was a real car. You know, we could get who's that fellow with the Stone Soup car that we could have him make a DeLorean, and then we could a model one, and then we could award that as the DeLorean.
Where's Mexican Spec? I chatted with him a little bit before I came up here, and he said he wasn't going to make it here tonight because they're getting ready to go on a trip tomorrow. They're going to drive that car up to the border that Lester LeSabre got. I think it's that one. So he said he wasn't going to make it because they're busy tonight.
He's here a lot. Give him a break, you know? Like, he doesn't have to always.
The guy's trying to run a business, you know? Yeah, I know. He's running his business. And that was kind of a tough car because he got it for Lester LeSabre, and then it needed a heater core, and just like mine did, and that was a big pain. And then it didn't charge, and it needed a couple other things. But, you know, the thing about Mexican Spec, You buy a car through him. It looks to me like he takes care of all that stuff before he delivers the car. And that's pretty cool, you know.
Speaking of rain, before it starts raining, I have to go get that bumper. Guys,
why is that
go
bumper?
easy
I
on
saw
me.
that
I'll
bumper.
bring it over and then we'll talk about it.
Why is it way down by the house?
Because it was in the bed of the Dakota.
Yeah, well, you better hustle up. It's that big old thunderstorm's about here.
Well, I'm going to hustle.
And what are you going to put it? You going to put it in something?
I got to go now.
She left some bumper for a truck, a steel one, right in front of the house. I came down, about walked on it. It's like, why is there a bumper here? And so she's going to go get it. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Paul Pachulia, I hope the Border Patrol doesn't rip it apart. It's a pretty simple car. You know, most of the times I've come in from Mexico, it's been pretty simple. You know, I haven't had any trouble. You know, I suppose if you're, I don't know, I think they can smell the trouble. You know, they're used to dealing with that stuff, and they might get it wrong once in a while, but probably not. Les Saber says SNH is Sperry and Hutchinson. Really? I don't know what it is, really. Oil Dom Press. Let's see Kim getting soaked running through the yard with a bumper. It's a bumper that was off some truck she had, and we decided to use it on my Valiant because it was about the right size, but we had to make it, like if you're looking down on top, we had to V it just a little bit, so we cut it and V'd it. I painted it the same color as the Valiant. It was just going to be a painted bumper on the Valiant. Well, then we went somewhere and some guy had a Valiant bumper for sale, and we bought it. So I ended up with a chrome bumper, and we just put it on. Well, now she's got this bumper that we modified, and it's painted, and it's sitting in front of the house. I have no idea what she's doing with it. It looks like she's here.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it rumbling out there.
Oh, there's all kinds of
well, and if we just disappear off here, it's probably because our lights go off. Hey, can you? Oh, you got a bumper in your hand. Oh, you got a flashlight. Okay, yeah. Let's just keep the flashlight over here by us in case everything stops. We have no electricity. Of course, I got my phone here too, which has a
light.
light.
We got all kinds of stuff. We'll be all right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Here's his flashlight too.
Okay, so let's see Kim getting soaked running through the yard. She didn't get soaked.
No, I jumped out there early. Do we have paint stripper out here? Or you don't own any paint stripper?
Man, why do you want to strip the paint? That was a black bumper originally, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if you strip it, it's not going to be chrome. It's going to be steel. What are you going to use that for?
I'm going to put it back on the vehicle that it was supposed to be on.
Just leave it yellow.
I don't want it to be.
Or we'll sand it and paint it black over top of it. But now but we V'd it, so now what are we going to do? Unv it?
You know, I tried it on the truck today. It's not very far off. I think it'll be okay. I was going to cut it and put it back, but I don't even know which way it's supposed to be bent. I don't think we changed very much.
We swept it a little bit like a jet where the wings are swept, but it was very little. It was probably less than 1 degree, but we made it so it fit the Valiant.
I think it was more important on the Valiant for the styling for it to be a little bit.
Because when you put it on the Valiant, it looks like it had its nose punched in, so we V'd it out a little bit so it met the sweep of the front of the car. On the truck, it'll probably be just swept back a little bit. We might not notice it. It won't look like it's punched in. It
really didn't seem that much different. I didn't see any reason to cut it back open.
Okay.
So, sorry guys, we're so I wanted to sand it down and put some paint on it so I can install it again.
This Dougster, 25,000 points, gets an 8x10 glossy glamour shot of Kim with a personalized letter.
I would do that for way less than that, but I really that seems so arrogant that people would want to see glamour shots of me. I mean, I'll do bikini pics and stuff like that. But
bikini pics.
I don't.
Oh, watch out!
Who wants to see it? Who wants that? I don't think this is that kind of channel. Oh, you know it's fun. In the summer, I'll dress in pinup girl stuff. and do photos with the cars.
Oh, Jesus.
That would be really fun. I have to get a friend who's a real photographer, though, but this camera here, it would take stellar
What are
pictures.
you volunteering for all this for? Let's see.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Raw Dog, if you had to put a jet engine in what old car, what would you put it in?
Boy, the Studebaker would be really.
You'd have to hang one on each side so that really. Oh, here's a story. I don't know if you ever heard this story. You know what happens when an auction bottle, when the neck breaks off? Man, that auction bottle will take off and crash into stuff. It's a disaster. So when I was a kid, I wanted to get 2 auction bottles and mount them on a go-kart. And I'd sit between the auction bottles, and I'd have somebody stand behind me with 2 sledgehammers and whack the tops off them. And then I'd go like crazy. And parents weren't into that at all. So, and then my concern was that whoever was hitting it with a hammer would only knock one top off one bottle, and I'd go spin around in circles. But so that's kind of a jet engine on a car, but I don't know. Jet engines on cars. Who did that?
Paul Pajui said he'd pay cash for my glamour photo. See? Thank you, Paul.
Who was it did that? It was I think it was the guys on what do they call it? Here I am, can't remember. Brains fried.
Who's quick?
The guys that I can't even explain it.
Wow.
It pisses me off. My brain's dead. I'll remember it like 4 hours from now. I'll go wake Kim up and go, hey, you remember that, what I was talking about?
That is exactly what will happen in 4 hours. He will think of it.
Who are the guys that did all the crazy stuff experimenting around? 2 guys. Jamie and
Mythbusters?
Mythbusters.
Buddy Carafano.
Barry Carafano. God.
You get 3 points.
Man,
buddy.
I didn't give you enough information to come up with that.
Mostly old points, you get 2 points too, because clearly you were
So
typing. You were typing.
Mythbusters, didn't they put a jet engine on like a 67 Chevy or something? And try to, because there was some rumor about one flying and a guy hitting a mountainside with it. Didn't they actually do that? Not that they took off with it, but I think they did it. I think it was them. Sounds like something they'd do.
That sounds like something.
Raw Dog, I'd pay to see you in person and in a bikini. Yeah, Jamie and Adam.
You would be disappointed. It's nothing special to see.
Oh, yeah, something with JATO units. Maybe that was it. It was a JATO unit on top of a 67 Chevy or something.
Oh, yeah, it was. I remember something about that.
Oh, yeah, Dougster. Carrie from Mythbusters is so hot. Yeah, I really like Carrie.
Oh, she was such a cutie.
She was such a cutie, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, and she was smart and funny. Oh, she got checking all the boxes on her.
Mythbusters put 6 JATO units on a rocket sled with a vertical wedge on an attempt to cut a car in half. Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, I remember cutting cars in that. Was that Mythbusters still in that?
Grant, rest in peace. Yeah, I can't believe Grant
I know,
passed
he
away.
died so young.
I couldn't believe it. He's a young guy who's full of energy.
Mr. Imahara, yeah.
Yeah, Imahara.
Yeah. Poor guy.
And then Paul says, Olive, you need to do that photo shoot. I think the urban legend was Caparo. Oh, Camaro. I didn't know what she was talking about. Caparo. That's the name of something, but turns out it's Camaro. That would make more sense. They used to use, Raining Science 6 says, they used to use rockets mounted on wings or fuselage to get planes be able to take off short runways or short Jeep transport aircraft carriers. Yeah, the JATO bottles, the JATO rockets, like on a C-130, it'll get that thing off the ground in a hurry. Yeah. Yeah, Grant. Cool guy. Yeah, Dougster says Grant was dripping with absolute talent. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe when he was gone. Man, listen to that out there, Kim.
Oh yeah.
It's really roaring with we got a lot of Hard Rock Casino ad. Terry Mott. Is that 2 points?
Absolutely, 2 points. Anybody who gets advertisements, tell us about them, and we will award you points accordingly because advertisers make the world go round a little bit. So we just always give points for people telling us about them because it seems to be a reasonable thing.
Olive says,
and thank you to the, what was it, Hard Rock Casino for advertising with our stream.
So Olive says, but yeah, you guys would probably be great portrait subjects there. I work in black and white mostly. Do you have a darkroom? See, I learned darkroom stuff when I was a real little kid, like kindergarten age. Maybe a year before that, with my father. In that we had our kitchen. It was kind of a long, skinny kitchen, and they had that thing all walled up with black curtains and stuff. And my dad had an enlarger in there, and we learned how to do. He did Christmas cards every year with pictures of the family. They were all black and white, and they were we did them with the enlarger in the kitchen. So I learned all that.
That's cool.
Later, when I was in the Air Force, they had a photo lab at the hobby shop, and I learned to do color there, but I didn't do much of it. I just wanted to learn it, so I did it.
I did some black and white.
But black and white is what I really did a lot of. But man, that's 60 years ago. Oh, I was doing that like in 1959, 1960, 61, 62 maybe, when my father was doing that.
Oof.
That's quite a while ago.
That is a long time ago.
Dougster says Carrie Byron.
Carrie Byron.
Is that her name? Carrie
yeah,
Byron?
That's her name. Dougster, you get a point. We didn't ask, but
okay. And
did we ask?
Gearhead says X-Tool and Lupiant Black. Get it out. Lupiant Buick GMC Louisiana. So that's an ad, I think.
Oh, okay. Good deal. 2 points for advertisements. Thank you to our sponsors, people advertising with us.
I'm looking
Appreciate
at this.
That.
I'm looking at this big old red cell is getting close to us.
Getting close.
We're gonna get hammered. Now that it shouldn't. It's moving fast, so it'll go by in a hurry. But there's a hook on the back of it. I don't like the looks of that. Jeez.
Why did they put fuel inlet so not close?
Hopefully that does. Well, we're hilly enough here that tornadoes usually go by to the north of us and to the south of us.
Yeah.
Grandma, Kim, sit down. You can't sit still for too long. Oh, Kim, we got to turn let's turn the Gato on. There's a camera here called Gato.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this
okay, now you can see Kim.
Gas thing going. I guess.
And me, I'm which way do I have to turn the camera? A little bit that way.
The problem is that the throttle cable is now where the gas tank used to sit. So I could put it up a little higher, but then you can't get to the gas cap because it's right in the center underneath this thing. I don't know what to do.
Oh, since I got I think it's pronounced Bestseller. I think 23C and large are currently holding up some clothes in my bedroom because they renovated the laundry room and I never moved it back.
Oh man!
So you got that's not a good use for an enlarger, you know.
That's
but I guess it'll work. I guess she thinks it's perfect use for an enlarger.
Sure.
It sounds like something I'd do, but I mean, you know, it's nice to use the enlarger. Let's see, Rod, Buff, and Kim, you both need to get into the RC hobby. No, you know what I did when I was young? It's probably there's the lost thing is slot cars. You know, it's a track with slots, and you sit there and make the cars go like crazy and race. But I never did the RC things. I did the RC with all my drone friends, and when I was out there at the test site, because they'd all go out to there was a flying field not too far from there, and so we'd all meet out there. And I learned to fly RC airplanes, but I'm an airplane pilot, and somebody that's used to looking out a windshield and the controls are, you know, you're looking out the side of the airplane, out the front, and looking at instruments. That's easy, but an airplane that's flying around and you got to be able to see which way it's going, its attitude and everything. Oh man, I struggled with that. You can take an RC pilot and solo him in an airplane in about an hour. You can take a manned aircraft pilot, and it'll be months of practicing before they can fly an RC airplane. Oh man, it's tough. Okay, what's this here? Lupient. I'm in Louisiana. Never heard of it. That's Mike N.
Never heard of what?
That must be a commercial. And then Raw Dog. I got a Traxxas Nitro Revo and Slayer. Not sure what that is. Gearhead GP Vic Traxxas. Dougster. It needs a Honda 500cc two-stroke liquid-cooled bike. You know what I remember is my friends back when I was in the Air Force, that age, end of high school, and
I'll be back in a second.
Beginning of my Air Force career is the fast motorcycles. So those Kawasaki Mach 3, 500 cc's, 750 cc, three-cylinder two-stroke engines. Man, were those things fast! I know a guy that used to. He raced his 750 Kawasaki at Sears Point, and oh man, he had a bad crash up there. Dougster says, I have lots of slot cars. Yeah, I did. I mean, I might have some around here somewhere. I don't know where they are. Ooh, that's getting close. Thunder and lightning out there getting close. Kim walked outside. Oh, we got problems with this camera. I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to cool that camera off a little bit. Dougster said both Tyco and AFX track. You know what I had was an Aurora. You remember the Aurora HO gauge? I had a really nice Aurora HO gauge, and it was on a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and it took up the whole sheet, and I had buildings and plants and all kinds of stuff on it, and then I kind of outgrew it. It used to be you could give things to the fire department, and they'd give it away to kids at Christmas, and I gave that thing to the fire department. Man, it might still be over there with the firemen using it. Mike N says, my first drone. I took off. Got real high and away went my drone. Whoops. Last time I ever flew a drone. The drones that I flew were, military kind of stuff. And they didn't get away from us. We were sitting in a ground station. It looked like inside of like an airliner or a fighter jet or something. So, the drone would be long ways away, and we'd be sitting there flying it, But we were doing research flying, trying to get newer aircraft up to the point where they could be deployed and used, and then we trained the first pilots and the first maintenance people, and then they would set up the training and they deploy them and everything. Roddock says, I got 3 electrics to nitro. I got calls, $3,000 and everything. And if I start adding up parts and everything, you can get lots of money. And
stuff.
Yeah,
you could buy a car for what you spend on all those, but they're cool, and they're easier to put away, and you don't have to pay insurance on them. So
Mike N says the camera doesn't like the lightning. I think is what that means. I'm trying to get myself into the picture again. I messed up with. Well, while you were outside, I grabbed the camera. I was blowing air through it, trying to make it. Yeah, it was going nuts. It was going nuts with the max headroom. Oh yeah, you guys might be able to hear that. Kim, what is that you're doing?
I put soap on it.
Oh, you're just washing it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
got mold on it from sitting. We have trees and everything molds.
So, what is that? Scotch-Brite?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can put another coat of something on there. Hey, I got a question in one of the shorts I did. What's the name of that black stuff we put on the rust converter? What was the name of that product? Kim?
I think it was made by Permatex, and it was rust converter.
Permatex rust converter. Okay.
I have it in the cabinet. I'll go.
Okay, I'll because I want to reply to the person that asked, and I didn't know what it was because I can't pull up names of stuff anymore.
Figure out where it was.
I'm on the backside of the learning curve, you know.
I don't know. It didn't get put away, so I don't know where it was.
Didn't get put
You
away.
know where it went?
Well, I mixed it in these cups up here, but the cups are here, but the stuff is gone.
Permatex rust treatment.
Permatex rust treatment.
I mean, it makes it easy to cover something with paint. And I know we'll
do this. I'll do a short tonight, and I'll hold this stuff up. Not a sponsor, but here it is. It works. There's something flying here.
See, that's the thing, right? Is how long will it last? I don't know.
Well, I'm going to explain
how well can we endorse it?
I'm going to explain how we did the whole thing. No, I can't endorse it that it's good. I can endorse it that it turned everything rusty black and got real hard, and then we sprayed primer sealer over it, and then we shot it with clear, and it looks pretty good right now. It looks pretty good, and it was all rusty nasty. So Paul says must be past my bedtime. I'm seeing double. Oh, it's because Kim's double. Yeah, she doesn't have that. She got the camera, so it's double.
There's two of me.
Dougster says that bumper needs some quadruple lot steel wool. You know what she's doing? That's the color of the Valiant. I painted the same color as the Valiant.
Yeah, but then we found a real bumper for the Valiant.
And then it was sitting outside forever, so it's gotten moldy crap on it.
Yeah, I'm washing it down, and then I will sand it a little bit. But I wanted to get the mold off of it.
Jim's Fastback Garage, good evening. Says I still have an associated RC10 blue chassis with a big block modified body on it.
Is that a
Grampito Vic? Yeah, I got to be up at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, but I'm still here.
Very early.
Grampito, what do you do? What kind of work do you do? It sounds like military kind of stuff. That's how I was. I used to get up at 3:30 and then had to get out, get a shower, get out of the house. And then it was about an hour and 10-minute drive out to the test site. And we had a meeting at 6 a.m. and I'd get there pretty much just on time. I usually had 5 minutes to spare, but made for a long day. But it was worth it. That was the most fun job I ever had. Flight testing out in the desert. It's what I always wanted to do. I couldn't believe I was there. Except I always thought I'd be flight testing fighter jets or something, and I was flight testing drones, but so I was doing it from the engineering side, but it was really fun. Really fun. Solving problems. Taking airplanes that don't fly right or don't fly and making them so they fly well. I enjoyed that. Oh, so if that paint stays on, it'll probably take more paint. Yeah, I think it will stay on. Grampito Vic, I work at the Goodyear Tire Plant in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Wow. I work 12s. Oh, that's a long day. How many days a week for 12? Is that like a 3-day week or something, or do you just get tons of overtime?
Why did we butcher the finish on this paint like this?
The oil Dom press. What weight you flew before buff? Weight. I think he means what you flew. Manned airplanes. I flew. Well, I learned to fly in Cessna 152 and then 172s and 182s and Piper Cherokees, all that kind of stuff. And then I got into home-built airplanes. I designed some home-built airplanes and flew those. And then I worked for a guy that wanted to build kits, so I designed some airplanes for him, did the flight testing on them. And then eventually I went out to, I worked for a defense contractor in Arizona. So I did all that stuff in Ohio. Then I worked for a defense contractor out in Arizona. And it was various drones, you know, big hefty drones, 1,500-pound airplanes, things like that. There was one I did. The one I can tell you about was of all things to golf, a Zephyr, just like my car. It was just look up Zephyr UAV, and it was solar powered. So it would charge batteries and climb during the day, and then at night you'd use the batteries to keep it flying. And that thing flew up at like over 70,000 feet. You could see the curvature of the earth up there. But if you look online, that platform is now owned by Airbus Industries, and they set records with that thing. It's all over the internet. You'll see it. That was one of them, one of the many. And they're talking about all these different kinds of
RC cars?
RC cars. I don't know what they are, so I guess maybe they'll talk about it. Terry Mott says the Kim Patina. Well, see, that bumper was black because it came off a black truck. It was a painted bumper. So then I shot some primer on it. Well, we welded it to change its shape a little bit. And then I primered it with primer sealer and shot it with a flat paint that matched the Valiant. It matched it real well. It's like looked like 50-year-old paint.
It looks really good.
It was just the same as the.
But I like the style of the original bumper, and when we found one, I think I paid $50 for it. I felt like it was worth it.
Mike N said, "Flew any pushers? Yeah, I got more hours in pushers than any other aircraft. Look up Titan Tornado."
Well, you did a lot of the
development. Well, the Titan Tornado, yeah, I did a lot of development. I did the very first flight on it. I was first flight, new type. That was a fun day. So I got a lot of time in Titan Tornadoes, and they're a 6G airplane. If you're a pilot, you know what that means. And you know, I had a lot of aerobatics in it.
You did wing design for that. To make it that. They told you they wanted that, and you figured it out for them.
Yeah, it's all.
Then it passed the test, European test. That's like big stuff to be able to do.
Oh, that was the Mustang. The Mustang passed the. Dougster's taking off. Take care, man. Good night.
Thanks, Dougster.
So Titan also built a thing that was a 3/4 scale P-51. I did most of the design work on that. And yeah, it passed all. That was a 9G, 9 positive, 9 negative airplane. Go 9G, see the direction. And that passed all the British certification, which is a tough certification. I felt pretty good about that. Let's see, Raining Slant 6 says, the steel till it causes pitting where the plating attaches the steel. There's no plating on this. The other thing is the rust staining running down from where the carriage bolts are. See, this was a painted bumper to begin with. What was it from, a Dodge Dakota?
Yeah,
it was
back on the Dakota.
It was a black Dakota, and the bumpers, yeah. The bumpers were never chrome. It's just a black. They were just black. Same color as a truck. Up and Kim, have a great night. Thank you for your live. God bless you both. That's Grandma Vic. She's taking off too.
Have a good night. Vic.
Have a good night. Thanks for being here.
This Dakota looks bad without bumper.
I could talk about airplanes a lot. I see Mike N asking about any pushers. And the mid-engine pushers I really like. The pushers where the propeller's all the way in the back, you can't have the engine all the way back. Like, you got drive shafts. So now you got extra weight and a lot of stuff. And the more stuff, the more chance of a failure, you know. But aerodynamically, that works really well. The downside of a propeller all the way in the back is you got to have pretty tall landing gear because when you take off, you pull the nose. That was a crash. You pull the nose up and you can drive the propeller into the ground. So you got to be careful with that.
I meant to do that. That's a durability test.
This is all it says. Yeah, if it doesn't come out right, prime and bedliner it.
Yeah.
Mike N says 9G, instant death. Well, we tested that airplane to 9 positive and 9 negative. It passed everything. The most we ever flew in it, my boss would pull over 6 Gs in it. I know one time. He did a roll, and he got messed up in a roll, and he came diving out the bottom of the roll. And when he came back, I said, what are you doing? You know, we haven't, it was early in the, he'd done a test flight on it before we'd done all the load testing. And I was just like, man, what are you doing? We haven't load tested that. He goes, I trust you. I'm like, you know.
I trust you.
So he goes, oh, you saw that? And I said, yeah, I saw it. And so I said, what's G meter saying? G meter's got a needle that when it goes up like this, the highest it goes, it's got another needle it pushes and it stays there. So it kind of records stuff. And he goes, oh, it's like just over 6 Gs. Pulling 6 Gs in an airplane before we load test it? But then, you know, it was designed for 9, and I guess, yeah, he trusted me. I didn't trust me. I wouldn't have done that.
I'm surprised you flew the plane before you put it on some kind of test.
Yeah, he was real anxious about flying. Yeah, I get in a hurry. He was in a hurry worse than me.
Well, you do get in a hurry.
Tim says, everyone is leaving. I just got here. Kim looks
Everyone
busy.
is not leaving.
Everyone, no, we've got more people in here than we've had all evening.
Yeah, there's people come. It's normal for people to come and go.
People come and go. That's just the way it is.
There's an early crew and a late crew. And sometimes we finish up early, but I think we've got a couple hours out here, right? We had a lot of rest today and yesterday, so we'll probably stream for a while.
Yeah.
So if you want to hang out, you're going to have...
Although I can't be like all night kind of thing because I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
No, but it's still early because we started... It's not even, 10 o'clock? It's not even 10 o'clock. We'll probably go for at least another hour, but maybe 2.
Mike N says, just make sure you can switch tanks, unlike John Denver. You know, the Mustang, there was a tank in the fuselage, and the wing tanks drained into the fuselage tank. So that was pretty much automatic. It just happened.
Can you put a pin in it?
Grandpito Vic, good night, Buffett, Kim. Buffett says Buffett, Buffet. Good night, Buffet and Kim. Be good. You two, see you soon. Okay, Grandpito Vic. It says it. Jesus. Noise. Taking the brackets off.
Yeah, I'm taking. Put that on the phone. Keep your eye out for the boat.
And then Peter Vic says, "Buff, sorry, damn phone. Yeah, his phone's doing the auto, whatever."
Auto.
Tim got a Granger ad.
Oh, we get Granger ads a lot. Granger's good for the ones who get it done.
Why is that skipping?
Because it's a character.
Oh, it's skipping on the other side.
It's okay. Will you help me for a second?
Tim needs help. I'll be around. Oh, Bo's headphone ad. Buddy Carafano.
Oh,
that's pretty nice stuff.
Yeah. Can you just
points.
Hold this down?
I know what I gotta do. I see what I have. Man, that's not.
Now it'll have a nice.
Now you can sand underneath where the bolts
I'll
are.
put a nice finish on it. Come on, girl. Make it stick. Make it stick.
Mike N says Lowrance depth finders. Man, I remember when Lowrance had before GPS, they tell Lowrance for airplanes, and you could only use them on the West Coast and East Coast, and they call it the Mid-Continent Bare Spot or something. So then they came out with GPS. That was better than the Lowrance, but because Lowrance were meant for ocean-going vessels. So, but when I learned to fly, that was a big deal. Everybody's using them. Tim says Granger has a good store here in town. Been using them for years. I have never been in a Granger store, but I've ordered stuff from them a lot. You know.
Well, they had Granger up in Pittsburgh. The store wasn't so great, but you could order just about anything and then go pick it up. It was basically just a warehouse with a storefront. So, yeah, it's not like a very good store. It's not like a Harbor Freight or something where you go look around. It's more of a order the part you want at the counter.
Mike Ann says,
place,
and I think it's pronounced Roos's Supermarket, Louisiana chain. There's 2 points. What is this?
Can you guys see what I'm doing? Do I need
Raw
to
dog,
camera
what are you talking about?
fixing the carriage bolt hose?
It's making noise.
You know how they get pressed in, that's why they're slipping.
Anybody get an ad for a silent hammer?
Quit your complaining. This is good. Look at that. No, it didn't fix that really very well. Huh. More hammering is required.
More hammering?
More.
That's some tough steel right there. I know that.
It's bumper steel. Mopar. One more. Mopar, no car. We're truck.
Can everybody hear the hammering?
Oh, it's just hammering. What you crying?
I'm looking at the radar.
Raining, I can tell you that. Don't need a radar to know.
We're right in the middle of it. Well, our corn's getting water.
There you go. See, there's always a positive.
Oh, I'm happy about it. After last year, as soon as we planted, we had like a month of dry. You know,
yeah.
That ruined the garden.
It scorched it. It's terrible.
Terry Mott says the noise canceling works. Yeah, and I'm on the other side of the noise canceling, so my hands over my ears are the noise canceling.
That's not too bad.
Let's see here. I don't think. Just be quiet for a second, Kim. So everybody listen. Kim, you're making noise. Oh, as soon as I stop, the thunder stopped. Oh, it says laser focused on the issues of the day. The Texas. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. She and Raw Dog are. I'm not going to discuss it. Let's see here.
Yeah. We only talk about old stuff.
Well, it's probably something from the
News?
No, from the adult store. Tim says, couldn't afford a good real anvil. I found a local guy selling railroad tracks. Got an 18-inch one. Man, I used to have a railroad track one, but I don't have it anymore. But I bought an anvil, and we got it pretty good. It's a Chinese one. So you can dent it. It's not as hard as what I like, but it works for just about everything we're doing.
It's not really a good steel anvil. It's just a big chunk of cast iron.
Cast iron. That's maybe a
It's
little
okay.
soft. Okay, let's be quiet for a second. Listen. Oh yeah, you guys hear that? Rain's really coming down. Sound like Bigfoot outside. Yeah. Well, you should do it day by day, and you should do shorts on your garden and updates. I did do a short this morning on the garden with me out there in a rototill about tipped the thing over. Man, it is really going. Yeah, Mike, you know what LORAN is? Long range, what is it? Long range navigation, I guess. It was, man, I knew guys in the Air Force, and they got stuck out on a LORAN station out in the middle of the ocean. You know, there's a hell of an assignment. Stuck on a thing out there for 8 months at a time, or a year at a time, maintaining a LORAN station. You know, Olive, I don't know if they still use LORAN or not. You know, with GPS, a lot of stuff changed. Don't know. I'm not a. Oh man, is that hail?
Sounds like hail to me. Yeah.
We got hail coming down.
I gotta go outside and dump some fertilizer. I'll see if there's any.
Oh yeah, it sure sounds like hail.
It's coming down. Man, it's really coming down. Woo.
I am gonna look at the radar again. This is probably gonna go by pretty quickly. Yeah, we're in the middle of the red stuff right now. Yeah, well done, press. This channel on YouTube, I'm watching it showing tornado warnings all over Tennessee. It looks like it's coming my way. That's what I was going to look for here. See if there's, you know what a tornado looks like on the backside of a thunderstorm. It looks like that hook. I'm looking to see if I see any hooks back there. I don't see anything that's coming our way. It looks like a hook. Yeah, I did a few minutes ago, but it's dissipated. I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty nasty, and it's fast moving. Yeah, this is small hail. It's probably like BB size hail. Not big hail. Look, you better go outside and check all the windows in your cars.
All the windows and all the cars.
They're all up, aren't they? I know mine is. Yeah. If I get any hail damage, it'd be a good reason to paint the car. Speed that process up. Man, it's raining. Tim, I'm not worried about our garden now.
Oh yeah, it's not. As long as it doesn't wash away.
Oh, it says roll up your window. Yeah, it's a Tony
Roll up
thing.
your windows!
Tony, roll up your window. And that was before I was down there doing lives with him. Yeah, Miss One-Eyed Cat says a lot of red, but I see where you're at. Yep. That's what I was looking at, a lot of red. Yeah, I'll be glad when this line gets go by. When it goes by. Looks like it's moving fast, but it's not fast enough. I want it out of here. Oil Don Press, west of Nashville, showing now. Yeah, we're north of Nashville, but south of Kentucky, you know. Raw Dog, I don't know much about guns. The guns I was in the Air Force, so you know we had M16s. I worked a law enforcement job for a couple of years, so we carried handgun. But I wasn't much of a gun person, just had to train with them. Guns were like just far enough down on my priority list that I spent my money on other stuff, you know. All it says, I see, watch for penny-sized hail in your vicinity. Well, maybe get that mercury under cover. That mercury's a pretty good jaunt from here. Go in front of the house. The hail it was hitting here sounded like BB-sized stuff.
Yeah, sweet stuff. Really came down. I think it's already open.
I learned to shoot in I think it was the summer after third grade with a that was in the YMCA camp back when they used to allow people to have guns. It's single shot 22, and you bolt action. You put one round in. That's all it would take. Close it. Then you had to pull the firing pin back, and you fire one round, and then you do it again. They train you to fire the thing, and it was fun, you know. They don't do that with kids anymore. But back then, nobody shot anybody. But we all learned guns and gun safety and everything.
I'm not real big on guns, but I spent several years sighting an electronic measuring device. If you give me a weapon with a working scope,
You're good with scope.
Give me a weapon with a scope that I can understand. I know how to sight a weapon, and obviously, I'm not saying it's the same, but it is close enough. And I have fired enough weapons and spent thousands enough hours sighting an electronic scoped instrument that don't fuck with me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's see, Mike N says here, when I was a cop, I had a Taurus 357 and later a Glock 40. I like the Glock 40. I had a friend that had one. I got to shoot that thing. It was, I like that. I didn't think I would, but I did. I felt like I didn't have control over it. But my group went from, well, I've been shooting, here I am, can't pull names up.
I don't know. The loud noise is distracting. Wow, it's so loud.
It is.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. If you can hear the sound of my voice and you are here, even if you are not able to chat, but you're here watching and you're listening, you get a point.
But the law enforcement job I had, we were required to use a 38 wheel gun, you know, a revolver. So it was a K-frame, and we could use plus P ammo, which wasn't, I guess it was okay.
Good job.
But that was not the most I did. Wow, Louisiana State Police. That's
Well,
what
we
you
have a
did.
lot of ex-police training here. One thing I like
Okay.
about our group is that there's so much variety of experience, life experience. We're smart people. You go in a lot of lives and you just get random people, but I know that we have some really smart people here. It's good stuff. Missed one-eyed cat says, Kim, I got one to do my lower control arms on my van next weekend off. What does she have to do? A ball joint. Miss one-eyed cat. I
oh,
can hear you. Okay.
oh, it says here, Rainy Slant 6. It's Campbell Soup selling a new recipe of soup called Spicy Nashville Chicken Soup. I tried it. I was wondering if locals around Nashville think Campbell's is good or true to your local fare. You know, Kim's on, there's things she can't eat, so she's kind of on her own diet. There's things I can't eat, and there's very little that we can both eat. So we just kind of make what we make. And I live on salads, just lots of lettuce, cabbage, and tomatoes, and occasionally little tortillas that I put some cheese on and vegetables, and eat them. Once in a while, a piece of meat, but we're not into the local food so much.
One thing I have against some of the canned soup is it tends to be really salty, but spicy chicken soup. That sounds interesting. I might try that. Maybe they'll sponsor us. We talk about Campbell's spicy chicken soup at times. AK-47.
Cool.
I've never fired an AK-47. I think a Mini 15, Mini 14, Mini 14.
Oh, Mini 14s. Where I worked, they had Mini 14s too. We had a handgun on us, but we also had a Mini 14s. We had Mini 14s with folding stock, so you get it in the vehicle and walk around with it and everything. AK-47s, I sold my AK. I had an AK for about, I don't know, 10, probably 15 years, something like that. But, neighbors are getting kind of close, new houses, people around. My yard doesn't, ricochet or something. I don't want to hit anybody. It's just not the right rifle to have on a property here anymore. SKS, yeah, my son he has a lot of guns. Yeah, SKS, I kind of like that thing. Yeah, a few years ago, quite a few years ago, I was in a gun shop with my son, and there was a big cardboard barrel just full of SKSs, and they were $99 each. And I looked at them, I was like, yeah, I don't know, I should have bought one. Then I'm thinking, man, I look back on that, I should have taken that whole barrel and dragged it over to the counter and bought all of them. Man, $99 each. And they had Cosmoline all over them. They were new. They were ancient, but they were new, Jeez.
Tim doesn't like the MSG in his soup. Gives him instant headaches. Yeah, Tim, some of those additives are not for everyone. I have a soybean allergy, so it's a really common ingredient is soybean oil. They put it in everything, so, and I can't handle it. It messes me up. It makes me have allergic reactions. So, not like super severe, but I gotta avoid it.
Oh, small rotation around Waverly. Ooh, that's not too far from us.
They were cheap once when the Eastern Bloc was shedding them. Yeah, it's scary that they produce so many weapons that at some point they're cheap because there's just more weapons than people who can. Because there's people that buy every opportunity they get, they buy more stuff. It's like, man, how can there be other weapons just lying around people don't even really want?
The red is on the other side of us now. Hippie volunteer. Oh, Mike says I had an old Mauser 8mm and you know what? Oh no, I don't. I was going to say I've got an 8mm Mauser, but I don't. I gave it to my son. And the deal is, my grandfather picked that up during World War One. Picked it up off a German that was laying there, and he brought it back, and he gave it to my father, and my father gave it to me, and I passed it on to my son. And when I gave it to him, I said, you know, the last guy that fired it, the barrel's got a little bend in it. I said, the last guy that fired this was a German soldier in World War One. I said, I think we should leave it like that. And he's sitting there like this. He goes, yeah, it's shooting at Americans. I said, well, I don't think you should be firing this weapon, you know, just so he's got it, you know, family heirloom now. But he's got another one that's much newer. It was made in the 40s. It's an 8mm Mauser, and one day he and I will go out and I'll get to shoot it so I know what it's like. Oh, what's going on here with the radar?
Made by Westinghouse. Yeah, Westinghouse had lots of manufacturing facilities, and when there was a war effort needed, they started making everything. They converted tooling and factory space and just started making everything.
I can't see Waverly on here. It's Waverly's little tiny place. I keep zooming in and zooming in. There's Waverly. Man, they're still on the front side of it.
But we have to say pew pews, or else the G word will get us blocked.
I just talk about whatever. I don't know. I don't think that's true. But I don't know. It's like everybody uses that now, so I'm surprised that didn't go off. I don't. I'll talk about the name of a weapon, but that's it. That's what I'll say is a weapon. Okay, we got ads coming in.
I think everyone should train themselves in the appropriate use of some type of protective arms.
Well, and you know who's around here that is a good instructor is John Wilburn.
John Wilburn. He does do instruction.
That's what he does, you know.
But
in fact, he's supposed to come to Tennessee somewhere around Nashville and run a class there. Here we got ads.
When I was younger, it was probably good that I didn't own anything like that, because there was times where I was very angry and I might have used it. But I have my temperament is much milder in my adult maturity than it used to be. Ask him. Sometimes I do get mad though. You've seen me get really mad.
I've never seen you get that mad.
No, not that mad.
No, you get angry, but you're like a reasonable person that's unhappy.
Yeah.
You know. Intensifying around Lexington, high winds and damaging winds. Also, I was trained since a kid, 70s and 80s, extensive training, and not shooting people.
Yes.
Andrew
Conflict
Button.
resolution. And
Andrew Button, good evening.
Welcome to the stream. And incident de-escalation should come way before, or there needs to be a balance of like, the lead propulsion device should not come out. That's like a last resort thing. And yes, you need training so that if it does come to that, you can react appropriately. Like when there's a school and there's an incident going on at a school, you shouldn't be hiding. You should be running to like literally. There's times where police are hiding from those places, and it's like, my life is not as important as school children. So if I were in that incident, even as not a child or as a police officer, I know in that situation that it's my responsibility to do something. I don't know.
Andrew Button says, I feel like the Studebaker lark is staring at me. Is that normal? Yeah, and it lights up. It actually lights up when people leave super chats. Just for a second, Kim. There, see, okay, that's all. You don't get that.
You don't get that free flashes. That's for the super chats. That's a reward.
When there's a super chat, we light that thing up and Kim dances around. So.
Police culture is messed up. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I don't want to speak ill of all cops, but there's enough problems in the culture. And I think that it's a very difficult culture to be in. And I think that Yeah, there's going to be some
What is this?
toxicity.
Rest in peace, Paul Harrell. What happened to Paul Harrell?
Who is Paul Harrell?
He's a YouTuber that's uh, there's all kinds of firearms stuff.
Oh.
Big channel.
There's a tornado on the ground in Gorman. Where's Gorman?
I don't know exactly where. Okay, we got people getting a Domino's ad, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to a Domino's ad, and TikTok and Subaru ad.
Okay, if you're getting an ad and you're telling us about it, you get 2 points. So Jim's Back Garage gets it, and Buddy Carfano gets it. If anybody else, if I don't see you if you call it out, you get the points whether I see it or not. It needs a headlight base. That's correct. I didn't find it. I think it might be up there, and there's a bin that's labeled Studebaker parts. It might be in that bin.
Well, there was no headlight in it till we put a burned out headlight in it.
Yeah, but it might, the trim piece might be up there.
You know, it was an old car when I bought it. It was like 99 9/10% complete, and I've torn it apart, but everything's organized with it, so.
It's close to Lexington, Kentucky now, Kim. Okay, that's a ways north of us.
You see how this thing is.
Paul died of pancreatic cancer. Oh, that's a shame.
I didn't know that. Okay, see how
My
this thing looks?
My condolences to his friends and family. It's hard to lose people.
You can see how the storm looks.
Yeah.
Goes all the way up to Toronto and south as far as Memphis, so it's like a big.
It's a huge
big
storm.
arc going across there, and we're near the bottom of it.
I got an ad for ads. Did you really, Hippie Long? You get 2 points if you did. What kind of ads? That's weird.
Gonna need a bigger boat, maybe an arc.
An arc, yeah. Make sure you're ready for 40 days and 40 nights. He had a post-death video. Oh my.
Don't. My voice is gone. Man, I need to drink something. Buddy Carfano says, don't forget Tuesday is 1962 this week. And I saw a bunch of emails already for 62, but I didn't open them yet. But I will be opening them on Tuesday night and showing all that stuff. Oh yeah, the red has gone past us. We're now in yellow radar, and it'll be green here pretty soon. So the bad stuff's gone by. Yeah, Kevin says, nasty weather here in Akron. Okay, I need to. Tim says, the other night I got an ad for Google Ads. Oh, that's weird. That sounds really weird. Kim, I'm going to be mixing a drink here. I got to find my. See. Dad's. They didn't have root beer, so it's Dad's cream soda. That's okay. Mix that with the water. What's this? Kevin Smith, do a 1961 show featuring me. Didn't we do? He born in 61. You're a youngster, born in the 60s. I was born in the 50s. Watch out for flying debris and airborne raccoons. Jim's Fastback Garage. Kevin, it rolled through here 2 hours ago. Yeah, it rolled. It's like all the bad stuff's gone by now. It's just raining out there now. Not hard rain. Mike N says, I love sardines. Maybe that's where it comes from. You know, I don't usually bring up other people's channels, and I hardly know this person. There's a woman that does her channel is all tasting different kinds of sardines. All different kinds of sardines. And I watched it for a while, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sub to her channel. I watch it every once in a while. But, you know, how many times can you watch somebody taste sardines? And she's got a dog there, and she tries some of them, but she can't eat all of them, so she gives the rest of them to the dog. The dog just looks at them, and then she'll put them over there. And the dog will look at him, she'll go, like, go, or okay, or something. The dog will go down there and grab him. So, very well-disciplined dog. Oh, God, it's funny. 61 was a great year.
Well, we do the the picture show on Tuesday nights. That's how we do it. When we're in the shop, the topic is whatever. We're just working on things. So
Rum and Coke tastes better than flavored water. You know what I like, and I don't drink much. I like spiced rum, like Captain Morgan spiced rum and Coke. I think that's really good. But man, I start drinking that. It tastes too good, and it doesn't taste like alcohol, and then I'd be messed up.
you don't have to drink too much before you tell me you're tipsy.
Oh, she gets me a drink or something, and I sometimes will have a drink, and I have like one drink, and I'm already messed up, you know. This is one I had. I was doing a money drop after work and got followed home in a white car, 4 guys in it. That's my last drop. That's when I went and got my 9mm.
What?
Mike N says, I have 2 unopened boxes of Dad's. What, you have this stuff? He's got those little packets in it. Every one of them's good for a bottle of water. So those things are cheap. So I get them.
Wendy, they should have a drop safe at your work, and they should do the drop during the day with 2 people if it's going to be like that. Shouldn't be stuck doing that at the end of the night. Shouldn't have to carry a weapon so you can, or if you do for your job, if it's that important, you should be getting paid real good. I'm sorry for the noise. I gotta dry this real good before I try and put paint on it.
Jim's Fastback Garage says anchovies are salty and gross. You know, the guy I knew out in California that had a tow truck, and one night I went out in a tow truck with him. We were busy, and we were both hungry. And he went to this. There's a New Yorker there, a guy that had a little pizza place. And that guy, obviously from New York, he called them pies. You know, I do have the best pies in California. You know? So we go over there, and this guy I'm with gets an anchovy pizza. I mean, there's like 2,000 anchovies on this pizza. I thought, uh-oh, I don't know if I can eat that. Well, I was really hungry, and it wasn't bad. I ate a couple of big slices of anchovy pizza, and I remember it was good because I was hungry. Buddy Carfano, the only problem with water, it has fish poop in it. Yeah. I hope they filter that out. Oliver says, well, I'm in the South. These days I usually wear at least a 38. Space Cat, good evening. Check out Amy's brand soups. What are those soups I like that are in the container? Kim, they're in a plastic container like this.
Soups?
Yeah, you walk in the store and they're right on the right as you come in that cooler there. And I've bought them occasionally. But, you know, a lot of carbs in it, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember the name right.
Yeah, Worcestershire sauce has anchovies. I told a friend of mine that, and he hated anchovies. But he liked Worcestershire sauce. And I told him, no, it doesn't. And then he's reading it, and he goes, oh, it does. I ruined his Worcestershire sauce.
No.
He wouldn't eat, what's the salad dressing? It's got anchovies in it. He wouldn't eat, after he found that out, he wouldn't eat that either. Oh, what is that? Caesar salads. Caesar salad dressing. The real stuff has anchovies in it. But he didn't know that, and he liked Caesar salad, so I told him that, and I don't think he ever ate another one. That's fine.
Penny fish.
Rating Slant 6 says the thing about anchovies is you add just one single anchovy piece, a large pie, and the olive oil transports the taste to every other slice in that pie. You know what? I know a girl years and years ago. This girl, I really liked her. She was a manager of this pizza place, I used to go in there and see her all the time, but she wanted to be friends and I wanted more. You know, one of those kind of things. So I was there, and she's telling me, she goes, you know what we do? At the end of the shift, when we're closing up, she goes, we make a pizza. We put one anchovy on it, and the person that gets the anchovy, you know, they're the winner, yeah, the loser, I guess. You know, it's like a big joke. Everybody's putting Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. Yep, Caesar. Like Ken says, if you like Caesar dressing, you like anchovies. Uh, Man, it just got really quiet.
Yeah, finally died off.
Really quiet.
It's much better. Much better. What did I do with all that? I brought paint.
Listen to a tune from the Jay Giles Band called No Anchovies, Please. Really? Yeah, we're on the back side of that line now.
Good, it's finally gone.
Yeah, we got a little bit of drizzle left, a little bit of light green, but we're basically out of it. Wow, that was noisy.
You want to do double fisted?
What?
I got 2 cans of paint.
What are you painting
Here,
it with?
Shake this.
What are you painting it with?
Black paint.
Rust-Oleum 2X. I don't like this crap.
It'll be good enough.
Anchovies put me to sleep. Well, yeah, Wendy, that's poor timing. If people are onto when your shop does bankruptcy. You know, I was working in an airplane place, and they hired a machinist, and he was like an apprentice machinist. And he was like 18 or 19 years old. You know, like the first job he had out of high school. So he's working there a week or two, and he's kind of learning the machine work and stuff. And then, now the sirens. I wonder what's going on out there, all the sirens.
Oh, it's probably the wind blew down.
Something happened. Man, there's like 500
Some idiot
sirens.
didn't slow down and went flying off the road in the dark in the hydroplane.
So what happened is, one night, one of the guys that worked there lived in an apartment upstairs. He comes running into the apartment with this bag full of money and a gun, and he goes, I got to leave this in your apartment, you know? And the guy goes, get out of here with that. Don't ever come in here with that gun and that money, you know? And the guy left. But then he showed up to work a couple of days later. He's got a brand spanking new Lincoln. The kid's like 19 years old, his first job, you know, apprentice pay. And he's got this new Lincoln. He's there a couple of days, and the police show up, and they take him away in handcuffs. He robbed a bank. They called it a bank robbery, made it federal, but it was exactly what it was. It was somebody dropping money off at a bank in the evening, and he followed them and held them at gunpoint and took their money. And so he bought this Lincoln with the money, and then the police came and handcuffed him and towed the Lincoln, and I didn't see him for 10 years. Then he came back looking for a job. And he's a real quiet guy. Second time I met him. And we hired him.
Trees down, maybe. It could be trees down, but usually when they got sirens, it's something that's affecting the road.
Or something
so it's an
lit
accident
up.
Or a tree down.
Tree down or something lit on fire. Or, yeah, somebody crashed or something. Patrick Sullivan says, strong arm gets you 20 to life here. Yeah, he got 10 years, and it was because they called it a bank robbery because he stole the money while the guy was doing the bank drop. So I guess it became federal then.
No, I mean you want it to be a crime like that. Here,
my harm isn't strong enough, and my finger. Look at that finger. See that red mark? That finger is so swollen up, it is hard as a rock. And that's from a sting from one of those little brown wasps. They call them paper wasps. And, man, one got me yesterday. And that's like, what, probably 30 hours ago, that sting. And it's nasty right now.
Miss one of cat power lines? Yeah, they'll put their sirens on to get out the power lines to make sure nobody runs into them or and it gets hurt. So yeah, they will. That's an emergency, and they'll just direct traffic till the power company gets there. We get a good response, so the power company will be there in under an hour, and usually way less, because they have people everywhere on call. When storms are coming, they know that they're probably going to get on call.
Out here in the country in Tennessee, most people think it's like, the mantras, it's old hillbilly dummies, all this kind of stuff. The fire protection out here is great, and they're on top of it. And there's a lot of fire houses, and you call the fire department, they show up pretty quickly.
I'm going to see if I can find that spray paint. I don't remember where we had it last. Do you remember?
Which spray paint?
The thing that clips on the top of the spray paint.
Oh, the spray gun enamel or adapter. Why did I say enamel? Spray gun adapter. Yeah, last thing it was on that side of the shop over there.
Yeah, I found it.
You found it?
I did. Where's the last place you saw the razor knife?
Well, there's a razor blade right here. The razor knife. I used that thing for something yesterday. I probably put it away in the toolbox.
Can I have the knife, the blade?
This is a piece of shit. Be careful with this because it's rusty and it's nasty.
That's perfect. That's what I want. I stabbed myself with a piece of wire yesterday. That was nice.
Yeah, but yeah, Wendy, armed or not, if someone knows your bank runs, it's the wrong time.
Yeah. You need to work. Well, not you, but your boss needs to work on some security protocols. If a complete outsider can guess when you're going to take your drop, that's bad news. They probably have been doing the same thing too long, and some previous employee ratted out the system to someone. It's usually an inside job. Some previous employee knows the schedule, so you have to change it periodically, and you have to have, like, I don't know, my mother, they always did, she worked at a fast food place. They did do the drops at the end of the night, but they always had two people in two different cars, and if there was any kind of issue, they were supposed to drive directly to the police department instead of to the bank.
More sirens.
Nobody follows you to the police department. Strangely,
yeah, you turn into the police department, they keep going.
They keep going. This may be about dead, but it's been
End up with tinted glasses.
How's he going to end up with tinted glasses?
No, you.
Me. Oh, that's happened to me before. Spray painting. Oh, that's pretty strong.
Kevin Smith put up a emoji with glasses.
Do you want to do a short on painting?
I don't know. We've done a couple of those.
Who cares?
I don't know.
Wait,
is there any metal showing there?
A little.
Well, that'll cover. You're not doing anything with water.
Paint plus primer.
You're not doing anything with water base like I do.
Fast drying, indoor, outdoor. It's fine. It's more than enough crap.
You can get those paint spray cans, agitated mix easier just by shaking up and down to break the steel mixing ball bearing loose, as long as the can was stored upright. Well, there's the ones now that have a thing in there when you press it, it mixes it, catalyzes the paint, or it actually activates the paint, not catalyzes it, but it activates the paint with two different chemicals, so it has hardener in it. That's pretty cool. That's kind of expensive stuff.
The sprayer on those cans suck, says Hippie Long. Your handle fits other nozzles. It does. It fits a lot of nozzles. These cans are pretty universal with this upper crimp, and so this fits it pretty good. This is a Rust-Oleum one, and I've used some other ones. The other ones I've used have like a continuous sort of band to hold it tighter. This one's okay if you have to push too hard, it will pop off the can. But
yeah, I had this one popping off a few times.
Warm up the can in hot water makes it flow better.
Yeah, because it's
I don't think
pressurizes it.
It's been warm for a couple of days. The can doesn't feel like super cold. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, when we're in here and this place is cold, I'll do that.
we'll give it a try. I think you should definitely. The thing of it is we've done some. Think about it. Everyone likes to spray paint. Everyone's gonna have an opinion. I'll bet you we get tons and tons of comments on the spray paint short. Everybody telling you what you're doing wrong. I'll bet.
Oh, I could do that. I could do a short with you spraying, and then I'll say, yeah, please leave in the comments. Tell us a better way to do this, or tell us what she's doing wrong, and we'll have 80 comments.
I want you to do the spray painting because it's your shorts. I don't even want to be in it. I'm ugly, and I'm.
I'm the one that's ugly.
It's your channel with your name.
I'm an old man.
We always heated our finishes at the cabinet shop. Yeah, he'll hit it with the heat gun. I had the heat gun.
Yeah, I do that, but you got to be careful doing that. You can't have it too close. Here, what are you going to do? You're going to have me talk. Okay, let's just do this quickly. I want to get done with this.
All right, we're going to make a short. I don't know what he's going to say yet.
I don't know what
I'm going to turn on the other camera so they can see the other camera. Give me a second to get it set up. Oh, we want scene 2. There you go. We'll zoom in on you a little bit. How's the focus? That's pretty good focus. We can see. So what do you want to say about spray paint?
I don't know. I'm like usual. I'm just gonna wing it, you know. Okay, let's go.
You know what you want to say? Say Buckdale Campo.
Yeah, I know what to say. Buckdale Campo here again. I had this bumper. It came off of some kind of Dodge truck, and it was black. It was never chrome. It was black. And then I was going to use it on a Plymouth Valiant because it fit. So I painted the same color as the Valiant. But then I got a chrome bumper for the Valiant. So Kim just sanded all my yellow off. Wants it black again for a truck, and she wants me to shoot the paint on it. So this is some kind of spray paint with an adapter on it, and I'm going to try to paint it. Oh, that comes out pretty good. I don't think I can paint the whole thing in under a minute, but yeah, this works pretty good. So this is what I want. Everybody paints with spray cans, so I want to see some comments. Like, what can I do better to make this come out better? Because I'm just spraying paint. So I don't know. How long?
54 seconds.
Okay.
It was lame. Do it again.
I already painted it. Okay, let's go again.
So
just do it. Go. Del Campo here. I'm trying to paint this bumper for Kim's some kind of Dodge pickup. What is that thing? A Dakota. And I'm using a spray can with an adapter on it. And I don't know. It's just spray paint. And it was black originally. And then I painted it yellow for another car. And now we're putting it back on the truck. So now it's black again. I'm going to walk around this side. Try to get this. But I'm sure people have some suggestions on a better way to do this. And you can leave that in the comments. So maybe I'll do a better job next time. So
I stopped it. I don't know when to stop because you're just like, you say something and then you stop. Then you
how
say
much
something
time
and
did
you stop.
you put on?
41 seconds.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish.
Well, okay, we'll do it again. Go.
But Del Campo here, painting a bumper with a spray can with an adapter on it. And I got to kind of look at what I'm doing. Kim always tells me, look at the camera, but I'm looking at what I'm painting. So, got this adapter on here, make it more like a spray gun, and I don't know, I guess it works okay. But what I'd like is somebody leave it in the comments. Everybody leave it in the comments. Tell me how to do this better so it sprays nicer. So, thanks for the help.
Okay, one of those will be okay. Surely. That one's only 30 seconds. It's paint plus primer. Look, I'll show you guys so you can see. There it is. Gloss black, indoor. Let me get to the other camera.
It must look like crap. There's all kind of bends and kinks and you know what I mean. It's just not finished real well.
Fast drying, bonds to plastic, metal, wood, and more. 2x covered. Boy, it smells like paint in here. It's a gimmick. I know, Kevin. I don't care. It's just a bumper. It looks better because it's the right color. Okay, let it dry for a
Yep,
few
yep,
minutes.
it's covered real well.
I'm gonna give it some air. Yeah, it looked like hell before. The loss makes it worse, huh?
Well, there goes my yellow bumper.
You got a bumper.
I know you. Kim insisted I put a chrome bumper on my car. I kind of wanted the. I kind of like the bumpers the same color. There's
Well,
you know that Zephyr I have. There's some Zephyrs and some Fairmont Futuras, same body as mine, running around with the bumpers painted, and they look so good. I'm tempted to do that.
That whole vehicle is going to need painted.
When I paint that car, I'm tempted to do that. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm not going to paint it probably for a year. I'm going to drive it for a while. What's this? This one I had. I called the cop the other day because there was a wallet left there. We looked to see for an ID, and it had two $1 bills that had white powder. It was rolled up. One cop said, "Don't touch it."
Yikes. Yeah, that could be fentanyl. You don't want to touch anything like that.
Mrs. One-Eyed Cat says, "For 5 days, I just wanted it gone." Okay, Kevin Smith says, "No such thing as primer and paint." Another gimmick. Primers for surface
There you
crack.
go. That's a good thing. That's a good short. Primer plus paint. Is that a such thing?
Oh, I should have put that in there.
Music well, we'll do it again.
Oh, I don't want to do it again.
Coat number 2. We'll do it again.
Kevin
We're ready
Smith.
for coat number 2. Can you use primer and paint for the second coat?
Kevin Smith, aluminum bumpers sucked back in the day. Hey, my Futura or it's not a Futura, it's a Zephyr. It has aluminum bumpers. They're light. Raining Slant 6 says, bottom corner of the can break up the heavier solids within the paint, which will settle to the bottom of the can. I think those old glass cubicle bottles they used in Tester's model. Oh yeah, I had like I still buy those for little detail work. I just bought a set of them like a year ago that are all kinds of flat colors, like for camo, because I was doing something I wanted camo on, and I used Testers. So, except they used to be 15 cents. Now they're like $7. Also, if you're going to beautify, is that beautify? That Valiant, you may as well paint after you're done with that. Oh, beautify, like make a ute out of it. Yeah, that we're not painting it till then. We did paint. See, the trunk lid was smashed in, and we got a new trunk or a used trunk lid, and I painted the inside and the outside. I think I did a video on that and put it on the car. Well, it matches the old paint just perfectly. And then the same thing with the hood. Somebody had painted the hood black on top of a bunch of nasty Bondo that was put over rust, and it was all cracked as a mess. So I fixed all that and I repainted it. But I'm not repainting any more of that Valiant till we're done. But I think we may end up doing the aluminum car first.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Kim got that aluminum, or the car, the Spitfire going, that we want to do the aluminum body on it. And, you know, she got all excited about it because it's running. So
whichever thing you like more is what we'll do, Mr. Campo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Choices.
I want to do them both, but
I know it's tough.
I'm not getting any younger. One day I'm not going to be around. So which one do I want to do first? I don't know.
Well, how do we decide? I need to wait a decide.
So I don't know. I'll ask you. That doesn't mean I'll do what you say, but I just wonder. You want us to do take the body off the Spitfire and build an aluminum body of my design, or you want to see the Valiant turned into a ute, and it looks like an El Camino, a utility vehicle first. I don't know. I'm going to do one or the other. More sirens.
I mean, we're pretty close to being ready to do those things. The other projects I have can wait.
Well, my Zephyr will be in here a few times, but it'll be little stuff like I want to run a separate power line back to the CB radio from the battery. I mean, that's not a long project. And what else? There's a ground strap I have to put in the trunk. because the antenna needs to be grounded to the rest of the body. I don't know. There's little stuff like that, you know. So
Lester Saber
so
likes
I vote you, Buddy Carfano. Let's take a vote.
Maybe we should do a poll.
Oh, maybe do a poll. But in here, it's kind of interesting what people think in here. There's auto primer you can roll on now.
That'd be nice because you could put it on thick, like
Okay,
sandable primer. That'd be pretty
Kim,
good.
you got to keep track of this. Okay, 2. Lester Saber, you. Buddy Carfano, you. Wow. Might be
There
rolling.
is a lot of people in the chat. We could get a lot of answers.
Might be rolling the Valiant in here first. Got to be sanded away. Something.
Had to jump over to J. Is JB streaming? Oh,
I didn't know that. Oh yeah, he's south of us. So yeah, that thing's swooping across like that, which means yeah, he's just getting caught with it now.
Yeah.
He's a mod in here, but we don't see him very often. You know, he's had kind of a rough time lately, you know.
Yeah, he had some rough times. Hey, if you guys have not checked out JB's little shop, I don't know if is he still streaming, Tim? If he's still streaming, go over there and click like. And if he's not still streaming, go over there and make sure you're subscribed to JB's little shop. He's got that little 2.8 truck with a turbo or supercharger on it. He's got some other projects. He's a good guy. And it's always nice to support other people who are in our sort of local community. And he's good people. Him and Lars are very likable. Meeting them in person was great. And they've just got a lot of character. My vote is Ute conversion. Should get clicks.
Wow,
it'll get clicks, but
there's 3 of them.
You know,
for you.
We can't just chase clicks. Like, we want to be doing the things we want to do. And custom cars, really, like, I distracted it by working on all these old junkers. But the whole idea was to get the garage cleaned up enough that we could work on build custom cars.
Man, something's going on. There's still more sirens. Well, that line of thunderstorms, everything went by. We're on the west side of it now, but yeah, that line is all the way up to Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania is getting hit right now, and I guess so. There's another chunk that's south of Erie. So somebody in here was saying something about Pennsylvania, and then we're on the other side of it, but it hasn't hit. It hasn't hit Nashville yet.
Miss One-Eyed Cat says Don got his slots done for the year and new rubber. That's a pretty big deal.
Oh, man, those look good.
He was talking about it. Yeah, that's cool. Buddy Carfano asks how your radio sounds with the new speakers now.
Terrible.
It doesn't pick up FM for squat.
Does not pick up FM at all. It did pick up FM before, which is what I'm thinking. Maybe the antenna got pulled out of that radio when we had the...
It didn't, because I can feel it back there. But there's a connection for over in the passenger kick panel. Maybe that somehow got pulled apart. I have to check.
I don't know, but at night, I was sitting out there last night in it, and I was getting like 150 AM stations going up, so it must have an antenna on it. I don't know why the FM doesn't work, but I mean, the speakers sound good. But, before it was just all now it sounds like speakers. Oh, JB is my brother. That's Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. Really?
I didn't realize you were related. I thought you were just friends.
That's how she knew everything going on. Kim, I'm coughing over paint. I thought you were gonna open the door and get the paint out.
I can now with the stuff. Do you want me to?
Yeah. Let's just get a little air in here.
Okay. I'll open the big door now that it's sun raining.
The big door.
Yeah, now that it's sun raining.
No, the big door will sure bring. How cold is it out there now that the front went by?
Well, I don't know. If it's cold, we might start fire.
Might close it right up. Yeah. Oil Don Press says, I'm in that small chunk just below Erie. Yeah, that chunk is kind of east of the rest of the line. That's kind of weird. Wow. See, I used to live up in that area. I was in I had a job that put me in Sharon, Pennsylvania, and up at Conneaut Lake. And the guy flew off the water up there in Conneaut Lake. And I was doing conversions, float plane conversions. So I was in both places. So I kind of know that area a bit.
Oh, AM has an internal ferrite antenna. Okay, so it might be the external antenna.
Yeah, but I got
It says AM is an internal antenna.
in a car. I wouldn't think that would work.
Buddy is waiting for a video on the Bronco motor swap. I know, and if I don't get to it soon, it's going to be too buggy to do it outside.
Oh, Jim's leaving. Take care.
Good night, Jim. Thanks for being here.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he's leaving, so I said good night.
No. And Olive, I agree with you about paint you can roll on is appealing for cheap jobs, but yeah, spray cans are the most expensive way. And the failing cans, oh gosh, a lot of these cans got left out here all winter. So freezing cans, you just don't know. That's why, like, of all the things having in stock, spray cans are the worst thing to stockpile. Don't do it.
Man, something's really going on out there. More sirens. Man.
He's a brother from another mother. Good deal. JB and Lars they're just good people. They're fun to.
Oh, Tom Press. Oh yeah, I'm close to both those. It's in the oil city that changed the. Oh, I know where that is. That changed the world with oil derricks. Kevin Smith had a buddy of mine electrocuted. Cardiac Lake. Oh, and Conneaut Lake probably jumped off the dock with an electric drill.
Ow. Let's see. After a short time, and listen how easy the ball will cross the bottom when you move it side to side. Then 90 degrees, go back again. The other big thing is periodically shaking. Yeah, that's why I'm shaking it. It's had plenty of shaking. I can tell. You can tell, too, by how it comes out, but we've got a pretty good mix. Was rebuilding the dock.
Install a scanner app on your phone. I do have one. I can hear this round of sirens. The only thing is there's more and more police departments and fire and all that have everything's encrypted. It's real high frequency and encrypted, and you can't have the encryption keys. So, but there's still a lot of them there that are in the clear, but not around here. I've got a scanner around here. The most interesting things on my scanner now are, well, there's a river here, and they have barges and stuff to go up the river, and so you hear some of the boat traffic.
And the trash.
And then where you take the trash, the convenience center, there's a whole bunch of these convenience centers, and at 5 o'clock, 5:15, I guess, every evening, they read off how full each of their bins are. So I can hear that on my scanner. Can hear the trash. And there's a woman and then there's somebody that drives and they flirt with each other. I hear that on the radio. So that's pretty funny.
But yeah,
I don't listen to them much, but it's just kind of funny that the trash people are flirting with each other. Raining Slant 6 says, spray, stop, and turn can upside down. Spray to clear any splatter that clogs the spray nozzle. Yeah, I usually do that at the end. I'll flip the thing over and clean it out.
Second coat looks a little better, but it does look really.
Well, it's got all kind of. It's where we were grinding on it and everything, and I painted it with flat paint, so none of that showed, and now it's gloss paint, so it shows all the.
Maybe I should just paint it with bed liner. It'd probably look a lot better.
Oh, you paint that with bed liner. Now you got it. Then you'd have to take that crap off there. Jeez, Ken.
What would I have to take off? This
Well,
paint?
you can't paint over the gloss paint without sanding it down.
Oh,
John Cope, welcome to the stream. How you doing? My scanner. Oh, he's been here. My scanner only picks up Chicago blues. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The scanner's not. Yeah, it used to be all the excitement going on. You knew everything going on. Now it's, everything here is encrypted. Most places are encrypted. Uh, this one-eyed cat. I had a she truck made from Vic last year. It was made. It was a made. It was a model in a case. I think I understand that. Kevin Smith keeps cap spraying nicely. Oh, what? What's wrong?
I might have burned myself a little bit.
Oh, the heat gun?
Yeah. Okay.
We had a girl at work stole one of our heat guns, and then I think she used it for a hair dryer because all her hair was just about gone, all frizzed up, curly, little tiny short hairs. Serves her right. Steal a heat gun, use it for a hair dryer. Dry and paint, a hair dryer works pretty good, except it's kind of high speed uh, air, but the temperature's better. I've been watching John Cope quite a bit. I don't know how many of you watch John Cope's Cope Racing Transmissions, his videos. Went for a second ride. Actually, it was the same first ride, but you showed it again, the Superbird, and then you were talking about the bolt-in Sprag. That was pretty interesting stuff.
If you like that sort of
thing. I'm kind of really afraid of those transmissions now.
I don't know. I think it's when you have a high power.
Of course, engine. I don't. I got 6 cylinders, and my high-powered engines are like a 300 horsepower small V8. So I probably couldn't break something like that. I don't know, John. You do anything with C4s? Oh, I know who does C4s. Yeah, but I was just wondering if he does anything. C4s. Oh, John, your videos are pretty good. He says I've been slacking on videos. They're pretty good. It's just you sitting there talking about something or showing something. It's always interesting. Good stuff. You're an easy guy to listen to.
Kippy Long says blowing air puts debris in the paint.
It does. You're right. That's what I was saying about the hair dryer. Man, more sirens. Jeez. They might hear it because the door's open now. Yeah, but the hair dryer, the air velocity is kind of high, and that's what I was thinking. Is it might blow stuff around. John Cope says I can do C4s in my sleep. Thanks, Buff. Well, you did good videos. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I see you when I see a new video come up of yours. I watch it, and sometimes I get this line of shorts, and I'll go down those shorts. I don't even have to read it. I just look at the thumbnail, and I don't know why, because some of the thumbnails aren't really. I don't know how I know. I see it. I go, I bet that's John Cope, and I'll open it up, and sure as shit it is. So I watch your shorts as well. See here, Ring Sat 6. I like how John Cope paid tribute to his late father, who taught him transmissions and started the family business. Yeah, a lot of people, their father's dream is to have their kids take over a family business, and that doesn't always work out well. But in this case, it sure did. Well done, press. Clarksville is safe for this one. Oh, yeah, something's going on out there, man.
Cope Racing Transmission says if you ever want to do a video build, let me know. Well, I know which one it'll be. It'll be the 904. The pump was bad, and I got the part, and we built a new pump, and then we have not reassembled it. I've got a bunch of parts to build that transmission. I don't know what engine it's going behind yet. I'd like it to be for something that I want to do some performance with because the light transmission uses less power to spin it. So I don't know what I'm going to use it yet. Only on my cars.
That's you do rear ends.
Oh, right. Not
There's
commercially.
Stuff. There's stuff. Well, most stuff. I won't work on other people's cars anymore.
Mm.
I won't work on other people's cars or airplanes anymore. I might give them some help with like steer them in the right direction with something, but
I'll help out a friend, but I don't do it for money because
you just did one.
Well, because you have to have insurance. You got to have. If something gets messed up, you have to show that you followed, like that you have training and qualifications. Like if somebody gets hurt because their car falls apart, and then you have no insurance, and then you have no evidence that shows that you're qualified to be messing with that stuff, you don't want to be there. You just don't want to be there. Like why? If you either have to do it or not do it, and I am pretty well convinced that I'm in the not do it category. Because once you do all that, you have to have the schedule to pay for it. Then you have to be working all the time to pay for all that overhead. We just don't have it. He's retired. I'm injured. I just.
Although yesterday you didn't diagnose it. It's a friend brought a part in and you installed it for it. It was a fly-by-wire or drive-by-wire, I guess, gas pedal. And she put it in, but somebody else diagnosed it.
I don't even know if it fixed the problem.
No, we have no idea. We have no idea if it fixed the problem.
That's terrible. I took it apart and looked at the insides, and they look fine. I don't know why it was throwing errors, and the wiring looks fine, but you can't see most of the wiring because it's this giant bundle of wires wrapped up in the dash. Like, I don't know. Somebody said, well, it could be the ECU. It could. I don't know. Well, is it something in the throttle body? Well, the code doesn't say there's an error from the throttle body. The code says there's an error in the accelerator pedal. So what am I supposed to do? Mess with the throttle body? I could, maybe it's the taillight circuit. I don't know. I don't know where all those wires go.
John Cope says good night. Hey, thanks for stopping by, John. Take care.
Oh, thanks for being here, John. Yeah, that's the fly-by-wire stuff. If I owned one and I wonder, like the Jeep Patriot, I figured out enough of the system to find what was wrong, replaced the component, but I also took the old component apart and found the failure. To me, that's awesome. Hippie Long is considering putting an AOD on his 302.
You know what an AOD is?
It's a transmission.
Yeah, it's automatic overdrive.
That's a pretty good transmission. What's he got now?
I'm trying to remember what Hippie Long has. Rating slant 6. Lost my dad back in January 31 of 2012. A little past 11:31 p.m. I missed the times we worked on cars together from when I was old enough to read wrench sizes on the wrenches. And you learned wrench sizes from him. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. We only get so much time together, so take advantage of the time that you have and cherish those memories. Thank you for telling about the time you worked with your dad. A lot of people, they don't ever make that kind of connection with parents, like finding something that they mutually enjoy.
Pretty car fun. The last time I worked on a friend's car, he got mad when I told him he needed more parts.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't work on friends' cars, because when it doesn't work out and it's going to be more expensive, then they're unhappy. And
if you're not really careful, you end up rebuilding the motor for somebody who just needed an air filter changed. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to do it. No, just go pay a professional mechanic. That's what they do. And because everybody always says, oh, can you look at my this or that? I'll pay you. It's like, well, just go and pay a regular mechanic to do it, because that's not what I'm here doing. I want to build custom cars. I don't build cars to sell. I don't, work on cars because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Especially not one of these new computerized things. I don't have any specialized training, any specialized tools. I'm just a parts swapper, and I don't want to be a parts swapper. There's no money in it. There's too much risk in it. It's hard work crawling underneath someone's dashboard. Everything's all jammed in there. I swear sometimes they design it to be intentionally difficult to service. It's if they were trying to make it hard to work on, they almost couldn't make it more trouble. The way they just pack everything, it's like they do with the heater core, right? They put the heater core in and then they build a car around it. They do the same thing with all that wiring, all those things. It's all buried and covered and shielded and obscured intentionally. Every single model is different. They don't use the same part on two different vehicles ever. There's no interchangeability, none of that. That is by design, so to kill, I'm a good tinkerer, that's right. That is by design to discourage theft, because you cannot steal that car and use the parts on anything else, because they don't really work. So I understand some of the reasoning for it, like the radio that only works in that car, and you can't even put it in another car that's like it.
Oh, I got a really nice radio for a Pontiac Grand Prix.
It's got to match the VIN.
It's got to match the VIN, and it's got to be programmed.
Yeah.
It's like, now I can't even use it. That was stupid. I didn't know that till I got it.
And see, the people who are really big on that are like the people who lease cars, because they don't want somebody leasing a car and then swapping out the motor for another car. And then the people who, like the rental companies, Hertz doesn't want somebody, who was it did a video that they rented a truck and then stole the motor, the LS out of the truck to put in another car and swapped it out for something different. Like, it's really funny, but from the perspective of a rental company, like now they have to check the VIN on the motor every time somebody brings it back. Like, yeah.
Kevin Smith says, Pops left us on Christmas Eve 2015. Rest in peace, Pops.
Rest in peace. Sorry for your loss, Kevin Smith. Christmas Eve. Yeah. I hope he was among friends and family.
Kim's a great tinker. And you know what? She'll take something like a component that probably should just be replaced, and she'll take it apart. She'll figure out what's wrong with it, and she'll fix it and put it back in the car. And that's okay on your own car, like on my car. But you can't do that in a customer's car, because then when it takes a crap a week later, then you're a bad person, not a good person.
Well, if it comes back, then you know that the rebuild was not adequate. So now you have to replace it with a remanufactured part. But the remanufactured part costs money. So now you got to tell the customer, yeah, the thing I did didn't work, and now I have to replace it. And they just think that you're just bilking them for money. They want you to fix it under warranty. And they're going to come back if you do a quick refresh on it again, because it didn't work. And they just wanted a pad swap, but the caliper was frozen. And they don't know the caliper was frozen, and you didn't either, or else you would have done something. Now they come back, oh, it's not working. Now it needs rubber lines. Now you got to bleed the whole system, where a pad swap is like quick. But now bleeding the whole system and replacing calipers is twice as much work, which is still not very much work. But they didn't pay you enough in the first place because they were trying to get a deal. And worst Christmas ever. I'm sorry, Kevin. That does sound like a terrible thing to have to endure during the holidays.
Oh, water king over here. Kim, I am looking for that primer sealer.
I'm sorry.
Put it away.
Raining. That is tough. Losing loved ones to disease and illness it's tragic. There's only so much you can do. We're just we're here for a good time, not for a long time. And Yeah, all you can do is do your best to make the days count because I don't know when's my time come up, when's his time come up. But we're taking care of ourselves. We're trying to be here as long as we can, do as much as good as we can in the world, entertain some people, enjoy our time. Sometimes we have to talk about the things that upset us and have caused us pain because it's pain shared is pain lessened. So if you need to talk about that, we're here for a little bit.
Where's my table? Oh, I know. It's under the bumper.
Yeah. Well, Don Press lost both of his parents in '65 due to a DUI-related accident outside Greenville, PA. Haven't ever enjoyed a new. Yeah, holidays can be really hard. I don't do well at several of the holidays because of
Yeah, things happen.
family issues, and it's hard to. I put on a brave face when, like, if we do stuff with his family, I'll do my best to be in a good mood and participate. But it's hard to sleep those nights, and it can be pretty tough.
I'm gonna do this, but I missed my table. What can I set this on? Nothing.
What would you like to do? Talk about some paint?
I want to do a short, the one we were gonna do, but we did all these other shorts. But now I'm sitting out here in the open with no table.
Okay, well
let's
find something to set the bumper on and do a short. I didn't know we were gonna do it right now, but it is a good time.
You were telling me to do the short.
Good as time as any.
This was the one we were gonna do, and okay, let's see here. Where can we? It's dry enough that it feels like a hard surface, but it's not dry enough to handle. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
We can handle it from underneath, but not from on top.
Exactly. Help me from one side. Just try there. It's balanced. Okay. Just don't trip. Put the cans away. Set you up. Do a short because we don't want to go all night.
I don't know. I'm ignoring the chat for a couple minutes. I'm sorry.
They are talking about some difficult subjects. But you know what? We're here for people to talk about.
I was over there getting. Oh, where's my?
Your towel?
My
set it out of the way. I didn't want. Your tablecloth. I didn't want.
My tablecloth. I guess it's a tablecloth.
I didn't want it to get paint on.
Well, thank you. It's just like a nice little place I work and.
Sometimes boys will ask the gray-haired old lady questions they're afraid to ask other dudes. Oh, yeah. What are you doing?
Your shit's all falling
Throwing
down.
stuff down.
I wasn't even over there.
I wasn't over there either.
You put it there and it all just...
Blaming me.
It all just bailed out and went off.
Serves it right because it burned me.
Sorry, everyone. I'm going to do a short. I'm losing my voice. Why am I losing my voice?
I don't know.
I'm all gravelly and I eat cough drops trying to get rid of it. I took a drink and it's still giving me trouble. Okay.
Mentoring is important. We need good people to be mentors.
We got to get me and the cans and bottles in.
It's not too hard to do. Ready?
No, let me think for a second.
Oh, okay.
I'm real close. I just want to make sure you can get everything in.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get a little bit, just a tiny bit more light here.
Oh, man, I was almost there, just ready to go, and you just took off.
Just let me get some light. I can't see your eyes, and that's just a bad look.
I need like LEDs in my eyes to light up, because she always says, I can't see your eyes.
We have a lot of top lighting here in the shop. and we just need to be aware of it. I know in a year from now, I don't want to have to drop all the shorts because how bad the lighting is.
What is wrong
That
with my
makes
voice?
such an improvement. It was so worth being patient.
Okay. Do you have is that phone still up or did it close?
It's still up.
Okay. So somehow I got to see this and still face it that direction.
Raining, we're glad that you're here and you're allowed to talk about it. It doesn't have to be passe for us to talk about. We can't do it all the time because but it's real. It's real, and we try to be real. Go.
Buff Del Campo here. We did a short video a few days ago about the master cylinder and the power booster in my car, and somebody asked what it was coated with, and it was rusty. So we went over the wire wheel and buffed all the rust off all the parts, and then we put this. I always thought it was called rust converter. It's this rust. This is a Permatex brand, but there's all different brands because they're not a sponsor, but that's what we used. And then after it dried real hard black stuff, and then we shot some primer sealer on it, and which made it gray, only it's flat. So I kind of want to make it shiny so it'd be easy to wipe grease and oil off it and everything. So then I shot clear coat on it. This is just a brand I had, but any kind of clear paint would work. So that's what we coated it with, and it should be able to wipe off and clean off pretty nicely. So that's what we do.
58 seconds.
Oh, geez.
You finished.
Let me see it. That's kind of wordy. Probably too long.
Okay. Also, saying Google it doesn't build anyone's confidence. Well, the other thing is sometimes Google will lead you down a path where it doesn't give you the answers that you really need. It just reinforces your confusion. Hippie Long asks, did we get the package you sent yesterday?
No.
No, because it's Sunday. We didn't go to the.
Well, I went Saturday.
It wasn't
And
there
it's a
yet.
P.O. box that wasn't in there. So I'll go tomorrow.
I'll go tomorrow.
And I've got to go and see the post officer anyway because I owe money on my P.O. box is done on Tuesday, so I got to pay for it. So I'll ask then, but there's no note in there or anything. Sure it's something that would go to a P.O. box and not need a regular address? I don't know. I'll see what happens tomorrow.
Buddy Carfano said he was happy the day his father died because he was abusive and finally out of his life.
I can't do this.
Buddy, there's the other. I'm sorry that your father was that way. But you can also still feel some sense of loss because he was your father and a parent. But you can also feel a sense of relief or a sense of like justice when someone meets their end finally after something like that. And I know, like my mother, when her mother died, because her mother was ill for a while, and when her mother passed away, my mom felt really guilty because she felt relieved because it was a lot of work caring for her mother when her mom was ill. So she felt relief because she didn't have to do that anymore, but she felt really guilty for feeling relieved. So grief and loss there's a lot to unpack. People tell you it takes time because like there's people they won't even admit that they feel relief because that's shameful that they would feel relief losing a loved one, but there's a lot that goes on. So it's okay to talk about it. If it helps us understand and maybe relieves a little bit less of the pain to understand why we're feeling things, it's okay to talk about those things, and sometimes it's good to go to a therapist and tell them how you feel, because just saying it out loud sometimes or typing it in chat sometimes can really help to us to process our feelings and emotions, and I know I go to the therapist and I say things to the therapist that I already know, but that person has an outside perspective and can, like Buddy, who says that his abusive father, that he was happy when he died. To say that out loud and have somebody like affirm that, well, that seems okay to be happy that he's gone if he was abusive, and um, talking out complex emotions like grief is good things. I don't know that an automotive channel is the best place to do that, but we're kind of family here, so we talk about everything.
Everybody in here, I feel like I know you, all my friends, because it's all we have new people come in sometimes, but then they stick around, so we get to know everybody. It's really strange. Every once in a while, there's somebody like this, and I meet them in person, and I have no idea what they look like. So I would have walked by them if they didn't introduce themselves. You know where you get introduced to people? No Name Nationals. If you can make that, it's a good place to go because you meet all the YouTubers.
It's really good.
It's just like you can't believe you're there with all these people, and you see them on their channels, and then you see them in person, and maybe they have a problem with their car, so you help them with it, and everybody just has a good time there,
Patrick Sullivan says, I remember Google's motto was be less evil, and Olive said it used to be don't be evil. Can a massive corporation with AI really claim to not be a little bit evil? So be less evil is at least honest. It's at least honest, because I'm sure there's evil stuff going on in Google, but less evil is like, I guess that's a goal. You work towards it, hopefully. Hopefully they're not trying to be more evil, like Dr. Evil. Do they have chairs that throw people into flaming pits like Dr. Evil? They just like eject people into a flaming pit. Ah! That's a lot of paint cans. Do you think we did a good job? Did you like that short, or you want to do it again?
It's good enough. Yeah, it's a lot to say in 1 minute, and we pulled it off. So
yeah. Do you want to do another one about
I got
some rusty metal or anything?
I got 3 shorts right there. We're good. We're
Okay.
good. It's starting to cool off in here quickly with that door open, but I think we could probably close the door. I don't know. After that front went by, I don't know what we've got for. Was that a cold front or was it ahead of the cold front? I'm thinking it was ahead of the cold front.
It's a garage we talk. Yeah, I hope we can. I hope we can continue to do that. Like we have goals to like grow the channel and have more people, but I'd like to see us do that in a way that it doesn't take away our ability to be a little bit personable, like to know people's names and learn about their cars and their shop and their families even. It's kind of nice to, like, when I see a screen name, to be able to attach it to a face and to some personality, because we spend so much of our time doing this now, like doing the YouTube stuff and doing the live streams and stuff like that. I set that out there to hold the door. Oh, you're closing the door? Are you getting cold?
Well, I'm watching the temperature get lower, and we're just losing any warmth we have.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm done painting anyway, so that's probably good. Raining 6, I don't think you should not feel bad for having brought that up. It's okay. And we all have different experiences, and yeah, it's okay. Sometimes people, when they hear, they need to share their experience as well. And being able to share our experience in a community is sometimes very therapeutic. People don't just tell us to just shut up. We have to stuff our feelings and never talk about them.
Where'd you put that black thing you put in here to seal this?
The sanding block. We use a rubber sanding block to cushion the door thing. I'll have to walk around the shop. I'll put it back in there.
You always put it right there.
No, I used it for something. I don't remember what. I'm sorry for getting distracted, guys.
Okay, I know. I just wanted to get it closed and locked so we can forget about it. Sorry. When it cools off 3 or 4 degrees in here, I feel it, and it's not going to get any warmer. And I don't want to light a fire for a short period of time.
Wow, when he knew his mind was going, he said, "Don't call anymore, I won't be here." Wow.
Who's that? Where's that?
Olive said that in the comment right before the last there.
Hmm. Wow.
Well, we're all here now, and we've been through difficult things, but hopefully we're growing stronger and finding better connections. I know there have been times where I've been in difficult and toxic relationships, and I have been difficult and toxic in relationships, but I have grown from it as best as I can, and I strive to be better, and I strive to avoid those bad relations. I have the experience, and I don't try and repeat it. You know, like we get along great because we've both been in bad relations. He had a really bad marriage. His first marriage was really bad, and he knows better than to ever get into that again.
It was bad after we split up. Just one of those things. Okay. Mean Street Mopar's here.
He says his diplomat is going. He's trying to get it together in time for No Name Nationals. Boy, he's saying it'll make more room in the engine bay. That makes it sound like you don't have a motor in there yet. There's not much time. Oh, Mrs. One-Eyed Cat got an AutoZone ad. You get 2 points.
Two more
Anybody
points.
else who got an ad?
She's getting a lot of points. She's got to run down here with a car trailer and pick up the Subaru pretty soon.
Yeah.
And she'll still have points left over.
Diplomat's a good car. You can put lots of motor in a Diplomat. Man. Converting it to manual brakes, that's a kind of a step backwards. They never came with manual brakes from the factory, did they? I don't think they did. That's a car
Get
that
that
had,
big old power booster out of there.
yeah. It will make more room in the engine bay. What are you going to put in it, Mean Street Mopar? What motor and induction system? Tell us about your car. We are in the shop, so you could talk about cars. Buddy says, I moved in with my brother and sister-in-law last year. Happier now than in years. See, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you have found a place that is good. And there's always opportunities. As bleak as the days may seem sometimes, like I never thought I was going to meet him and move to Tennessee and get to work on all this stuff. I always wanted to do some of this stuff. I'm doing stuff I never thought I'd be able to do.
You had a place you were working in Pennsylvania. It was like some kind of a nook or something where you pulled cars in and worked.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing you on your channel before I knew you. So well, was this better?
Initially, I was working under a bridge. I was working under the Bloomfield Bridge, but the police said you can't work here anymore. This isn't your private shop. You cannot work here. It was nice because this never got rained on it.
I saw what Patrick Sullivan said earlier. Then I see it here again. Patrick Sullivan, but how tall are you? I got the impression you're 5'11" or so. The Diller video made you seem really short. You know, how tall am I? No, how short am I? I'm 5'7". She's taller than me.
5'10".
5'10" or 5'11" or something. Okay, we got to do this for everybody.
With this hand back, so there's some comparison.
We got to quit doing that. You see how we are? She's like, I stand here and gotta look up and talk to her. So yeah, 5'7", and she's more. I think you're like probably 5'11".
I think you lost a little bit of height over the years.
5'12".
I think you're 5'12".
5'12", yeah.
5'13". Olive says her hip is still acting up after her S10's booster finally gave out in traffic. Oh, I'm so sorry. They do make small boosters. They also make kits that offset them in some cases. But for a lot of cars, you can. Manual brakes are still fine.
Diplomat was a turd. Government saved Chrysler by buying them as cop cars. A friend of mine is a big dude, and he's a cop, and he spent his whole life being a cop. but he's a big dude. And you know, he is in California. And they used to have these big giant Chrysler C bodies, and they had a shotgun here and a stack of radios and all this stuff, and big cops fit in those things real well. Well, he pulled in on one of my radiator shops one day in a Diplomat, and you can imagine when this was. If you're old enough to remember this era, you know, with the Diplomats, he comes in, their knees are all bent like this, and they're touching the steering wheel. He can hardly move, and the shotgun's there. He goes, I don't know how to get this shotgun out of here. He goes, next year, he goes, it's going to get worse. We're going to have diesel mats. That's how much he hated it, because, you know, they're all in this kit to make things smaller and more efficient and everything. He called it diesel mats.
Good night, Wendy. She's going to fold laundry and eat.
She always folds laundry. Wow. It's neat.
Laundry, it's like the never-ending stuff.
I folded laundry the other night, remember?
Yeah, I got to do some laundry. All my jeans are dirty.
Buff looks up to camera.
Yes, we're slightly different in height. Mean Street Mopar says he's got a 360 with a bunch of Mopar performance parts. He's hoping to make 420 horsepower, a 46 RH transmission, and 456 gears out back.
456 will make a difference.
Ooh, yeah, it'll
have a good 8
with a 360. That'll
8 mile. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good in an 8 mile. It'll be
no name national
a real tire burner. In a Diplomat. A Diplomat's heavier than an A body, but it's not that heavy.
Yeah, what is it? What is a Diplomat? It's not an A body. It's an
FJ and M series body. I don't know which one a Diplomat is considered.
It's kind of like the
an F. A Dodge Aspen is an F body.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what that thing was. You had an Aspen.
I don't know what a J and M are, but they're all the same platform with the transverse torsion bars in the front instead of the older style torsion bars. They changed it up. So the FJM bodies are Diplomat, Murata. What else goes with it?
Well, it's the thing that
New
Dr.
Yorker,
Go has. Dr. Go has
Magnum.
I can't ever think of the name of that thing. It's a J body. It's a
J body? Okay. Well, it's in that series.
What was that car you just said a minute ago? I can't remember things from 30 seconds ago. I can't pull it out of my dead brain.
No, it is absolutely not a K car. No. K car is a front wheel drive.
Yeah, a little front drive car.
4-cylinder, or maybe 6-cylinder, but they were Mitsubishi derived platform. And I think Chrysler started making a motor instead of the Mitsubishi at some point in that series.
What's that, the K car?
Yeah, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the 2.2 and then the 2.6 later, which was Mitsubishi.
Okay.
Oh, AMC Gremlin with a 343. Well, that'd be something. Steve Edwards. Steve Edwards, you still here? Cool. Yeah, you know what? I've got that antenna mounted to the deck lid. Yeah, I'm talking to CBs now. And then I've got to run that's one of the things I got to do is back that car in here and run a ground. I want to ground the deck lid, the trunk lid, to the rest of the body, so make sure my ground plane is good. So I got to do that and then install a CB. But 2 days now I've been driving it as a daily driver. Got my car, driving it. Everything works well. I've got new windshield wipers. Got to put those on there. I'll put them on tomorrow before I go to my appointments. Man, I'm enjoying driving that car.
Mean Street Mopar says the brake booster makes it difficult to get the back bolts on the driver's side valve cover and back header bolts. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you have the parts, go ahead and switch it out to a manual. Or you can get an aftermarket booster that has an offset or like a smaller canister if you still need some boost. Sounds like you're on top of what you need to do. You think you'll really have it done? I mean, you have all summer, but
yeah, you got all summer.
A lot of people, though, they think about it like that seems like a reasonable amount of time, but then in the summer, they work a lot more hours depending on what kind of job they have.
You remember how your car was? You pulled it in here because it had an oil leak. We were going to take a day or two and fix the oil leak. And it was in here for 3.5 months.
Turned into a complete motor rebuild,
3.5 months.
Transmission swap, and frame repair, and
Yeah, while we're there, we might as well do this, and while we're there, we might as well do that. And while
Mission
we're there, we
complete.
might as well do that. And pretty soon, 3.5 months later, we pull it out, and it felt really good to pull that thing out of here. And videoed it. She pulled out with it and drove off, and it's like, wow, that was a long, that's a long rear main seal job.
Hippie Long Googled it, and supposedly diplomats are embodied cars. There
Really?
you go. Hippie Long, I'll give you 2 points for doing the Google for us. Raining said there was a video on YouTube that someone did the K car platform just within the last few days. Who did a K car video? That's interesting. Patrick said he had an 82 Diplomat that was crunched on the front from a customer for 75 bucks. Yeah, but what year was that? He decided to junk it after getting a break estimate. The $75 cars went away due to the price of scrap metal. Because it's scrap metal, a whole car is worth 200, 250 bucks for scrap metal. So no one gives cars away for 75 bucks anymore. But yeah, a whole functional car that needs a brake job and some body repair for 75 bucks. Pretty crazy. And if it was a police car, it probably had the Interceptor engine in it. It was probably a lot of good parts there. I bet you could just put it right back afterwards. I mean, those came with that size engine. Yeah, but sometimes you just want it to be more
What was
easily
it?
serviced.
What was it? The spark plugs were harder to get in and out. Is that what it was?
He said the valve cover and some other things.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're racing a car and it's getting the plugs in and out are really important. So probably more important than having a power booster, but depends on what all you're doing with the car. I ordered my '74 Matador new. Man, that's how old I am. But I ordered that thing new, and I ordered it with manual disc brakes, and that wasn't you could do that. And I had a couple of friends drive that car, and I said, "Oh man, why you got to grunt to put those brakes on?" But I was so used to it, it just felt normal to me. But I didn't want that power booster in there, and so that car I ran around no power brakes. Disc brakes worked fine, just took a
Patrick
little more
Sullivan said
pressure.
this was an '88. So you got a 6-year-old car for 75 bucks. Man, they really must have beat the value out of that vehicle, or else they didn't know what they had. He Raining says he pointed out how many cars were essentially built off that platform: minivans, Rampages, Imperials. Yeah, well, they changed over to that kind of platform. Everything went to that front-wheel drive platform, and the whole assembly line, everything. It all went there. Aries and Reliant wagons, yeah, all the K cars. Yep. And the New Yorkers changed over from being a rear-wheel drive car to doing the front-wheel drive thing around the same time. And they were very different cars, but they were the same car. It was weird.
Same name.
I mean, they kind of looked like the same
Yeah,
car.
yeah, they did. They're trying to keep the same customers.
I'm using the existing master cylinder. I just had to make an adapter plate for the firewall. Also needed an adjustable push rod. It was an old Memphis police. See, I think if
That all
you,
makes sense.
yeah, but if you change over from the booster, I think a manual master cylinder, I think that the bore size is different so that you have the extra push. You may find that that's not a really good conversion. I don't know. Maybe you know, but I would be looking for a different. Don't you think? Wouldn't you think you'd need excessive brake pressure if you just
I'm
limited?
wondering if it even attaches the same place on the brake arm if the leverage is the same. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I have questions. But I mean, it will stop the vehicle, and then if there's an issue, you'll work it out, and it will give you more room to work. I'm surprised. Does anybody make a kit that offsets the booster, like that intentionally just moves it over and puts a lever in there?
Not like a
So
van where it's
jams it
sideways.
over into the, yeah, like a van where it
But
goes
but that
sideways.
moves it over closer to where, because the van is so far forward. But the van would turn it. It would be worse. It'd put it
But you
right
would
into the
think
mess.
you could have something that makes it go over. I'm surprised they don't have, custom hot rod kits that turn it at an angle or.
It's starting now. Instead of hurt, it's starting to itch.
Oh yeah, well that means it's getting better.
That means it's getting better, I hope.
Don't scratch at it too much though. You'll bust it open.
I got stung by what do you call it? A paper wasp, one of those little brown wasps, and that was 30 something hours ago, and it's pretty bad.
Hippie Long said it right. The plunger on the Power Master is bigger, which will make it a very hard pedal. Yeah. And some people, they're fine with a hard pedal. They can stop the car. And it's a disc brake in the front, drums in the back car. It'll stop, but you might really, especially if you're putting a 400 horsepower engine in it, you might feel like you give it a try, see how it feels. Just don't put yourself in any danger.
But Carl Farm says 68 Mustang 390 was the worst spark plugs I ever changed. No room, shock towers. I had a 67 Mustang, same thing, with a 289 in it. My best friend at the time had a 67 Mustang with a 390. And yeah, my plugs were really easy to change, and I helped him with his many times. And a 67 Mustang GTA, 390 GTA. What a fun car that was. His drove so nice, and mine just didn't. It was okay. But, man, that 390 GTA Mustang was just such a nice car. They were, back then, they were almost new, you know.
Rainy saying 6. It wasn't a mud wasp.
Well, you know,
it
I
was
looked
one
it
of
up.
those red wasps.
It's brown, and you look it
They're
up.
red
I looked up
wasps.
brown wasp, and I looked at, there's a picture of it. Yeah, that's it. And they said the name of them. Everybody calls them paper wasps because they make those nests.
Right. It's a paper.
That they make look out of paper.
A brownish red paper wasp. A mud wasp makes those mud dauber nests, and that's something different.
Yeah, these. If you look up paper wasp, you'll see it.
Yeah, they're nasty. They're
man,
around.
You know what happened? I was cleaning up in here after pulling my car out, sweeping everything. There was a paper towel on the floor, the dirty paper towel, and I reached down and picked it up to put it in the trash can, and something sharp stuck my finger, and I thought, oh, like it was really sharp. And I looked down there, and there's a wasp there just stinging me. I'm like, yeah. And so there was a wasp in that paper towel that I didn't see. And yeah, he got me. I've lived here for 19 years, and those things are all over the place. It's the first time I've been stung by one. It didn't hurt that bad when it happened, but now it's a big, swollen, hard as a rock thing, and it stings or it hurts. It hurts, but now it's starting to itch. I guess that's good. Man, that's not a pleasant thing to get stung by. It's raining again. I think what we got are some little patches going by after the big storm. Yeah, there's some like little patches of rain going by.
Do not use to power any vehicle.
What?
It says it right here in the warnings.
What's it go on?
It says prevent injury, damage, and fire. Number 5 is do not use to power any vehicle.
I thought that was for a vehicle, for a mini bike or something.
Well, no, this is the gas tank off a Predator engine.
Oh, it's meant for it's supposed to be a stationary engine.
Yeah, stationary engine.
Hippie Long, giant paper nests. And then Hippie Long says, take antihistamine. You know what?
Could take an antihistamine.
That's what I'll do when I go to sleep, because that'll put me to sleep. Patrick Sullivan, those Ford vans in the 80s with the V6s was nearly impossible to do from the top. Had to put on a lift and come in from under. Aerostar, I think it was. Oh, the Aerostars. I had an Aerostar I bought and sold. It was a real piece of crap. It was all rusty and everything up in Ohio. Got it at an auction. Didn't run. I got it running. Had a 4.0 V6 in it. What surprised me about that thing was how good that thing went. It was borderline fast. And I put it on. That's why I selling cars on eBay. I put it on eBay, and some guy came all the way from California, rented a truck. We loaded it in a truck. He was so happy to get that thing, but it was an all-wheel drive. I think he wanted all the running gear out of it. In fact, that's what he wanted, was all the running gear out of it for his van in California, because that thing was just nothing but rust holes. But I remember that guy was so happy to get that thing. I think I paid like $50 or $70 or something for that thing at a at an auction. Didn't run. I don't remember what I had to do to get a run. I had to do something, and then I think I sold it on eBay for 600. And I didn't think, I thought that thing was going to have to get towed to the junkyard. That guy came all the way from California and got it. I was just amazed. But Buff, if you had done some of those mods, you know how to do now. Hop up that 289, but you had not a lot more fun. Yeah, you know what? A friend of mine got that car and he wanted it, so he ended up with that engine. Yeah, I would have put a 351 Windsor in it or something. I don't know. I had the Cougar at the same time that had that 327 with the cross ram. So you know, I had plenty of cars. I always had a bunch of cars. And I was working all day on cars every day. I was at a radiator and air conditioning shop. So we were, that's all I did. So I worked on my own cars after work, and I worked on customers' cars during work, and it's kind of my whole life at that time. I was I was getting sick of it. Also says for valve cover bolts, does anyone still make those really long ones with fancy wing nut handles on them? Well, you know, I've seen those on something recently, but
I
they
had
could be,
some. That
they could be.
318 there had them on it.
Oh, that's what it was. They have them on it.
They were
Okay.
chrome.
Yeah, the big long things.
They were kind of crappy though. B&R, I never made a connecting rod balance fixture. We just put the pins in and sent it.
Well, it's because of what it was. It's a stuff that was all about right anyway. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to do that.
Main Street Mopar says they were the same master cylinder. And the cars. Okay, so it'd probably be okay then.
Can't believe it's raining again. It's good.
Yeah, that
Our
garden's
corn,
gonna be
our
rain.
corn
Yeah,
got watered.
corn's gonna be happy.
I'm really glad it didn't like last year. As soon as we planted it, it's like no rain for a month.
Oh, I know, but we didn't plant until
Yeah.
June. End of May, maybe, beginning of June. It was shameful how late we planted it. His corn was already knee high by the time we planted ours. So I know we were really late.
BNR says, thought I asked Kim, you make everything.
I would if we needed one, I'd make one. Trying to figure out how to make a gas can for this mini bike.
Bit myself. How to make it? Oh, a gas tank.
Yeah.
Main Street. That Dodge Diplomat used the same master cylinder as the older F-body Dodge Aspens. They used two different part numbers, but were the same for both manual and power. Okay. Okay, we got ads coming in like 8 seconds. So we'll
8 seconds.
quiet down for the ads.
David Vizard has a video. He made his own connecting rod balance fixture with string and a piece of bent steel wire. Pretty nice. Vizard knows his stuff. It's good that he has videos out there so we can learn from his experience.
You know, another guy on YouTube made his own with plywood, scrap metal, and ball bearings. Yeah, that was raining pretty hard out there.
It's raining again, everybody.
What are you saying? CJ Pony Mustang parts. Didn't you send me to them? I think I bought something from them, didn't I?
We did. What did we buy? That's where we got the door tracks for the windows.
Was it the door tracks?
No,
That was a Bronco. But maybe it was the thing that held the headlight switch in or something. I don't know. But it got found a bunch of parts for us, so we brought them all. Yeah, it's really nice. Reach down there and the headlight switch works and it's mounted in there. Looks the same. Perfect. Elon my head was depends. Makes me want to pee myself subconsciously. I told you that's what happened to me. I swapped over to another account for my and watched YouTube to see what the ads look like. And all my stuff was old people stuff. Depends and ginger cream and all. I was like, why am I getting all this? Well, because the only thing it knows is, Google knows my age or something. But I never do any searches on that, so it doesn't cover the stuff I search. So it must have just looked at my age and went, old guy. All that rain missed me in Illinois today. Looked like a tornado. Black skies, just high winds and just dash of sprinkles. I think I've asked you where you are in Illinois, but I forget. Because I lived in Illinois for a while. I was in Rantoul, which is near uh, Champaign. I was in that area for a while, many years ago, but I enjoyed my time there. So farming area. Same thing when I lived in South Dakota. Same thing. It's a farming area. Always good people. And of course, there's an Air Force base there too. Range 6, there's not much to those connecting rod balancing setups. Flat piece of aluminum or steel plate, some sort of light pull chain stock. They used to be able to get a real stock used to be able to get at a real hardware store. Okay. But I used to find parts online when I worked in the garage. Well, here's the thing, I can do all that. I mean, I can go search the stuff, but we'll be here live and you'll find it all for me. And I just go buy it. I don't have to search it. Uh, Man, listen, that depends. Being an artist, I think I'm going to build 2 connecting rod balance fixtures. One Vizard style and the other like the guy's plywood and ball bearings. BNR, you build a lot of engines? Sounds like the guy that builds a lot of engines.
DNR has told us about a lot of this work. Right now, my brain is fried, but I know he does a lot of work. Doesn't he work on trucks? I don't know. I should shut up before I sound dumb.
Route 80, I-39, Illinois map. Star Broad State Park, the Illinois area. Let me see where. I know where Route 80 is. Or Route 80, not I-80, Route 80. Okay, let's see.
DNR says he used to when he was younger. Well, I did less when I was younger. I do more now.
Yeah, except you're not old.
Oh yeah, I'm not as old. I'm not as young as I used to be.
This one-eyed cat. Good night. Gotta go to bed. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Dinar says last one was the 454 truck engine. Okay, so now I'm looking at my map. Of course, I can't see up close with my glasses on. These are my close-up glasses. I got to take them off to see close up. 39. I like maps. Kim thinks I'm stalking people. I just like to see where stuff is. This is not a very good map. I'll have to look at it later. What you doing, Kim?
Trying to figure out how to fit this fuel tank properly.
Buddy car found a Buff should build an aluminum gas tank for the mini bike. I'd like to carve one out of foam and then build it out of fiberglass.
Oh, that all sounds.
That's a lot of money and a lot of time for something you're going to put a can there that works.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it work with it.
Tim says, I have the old 727 for my Demon. Does a built 727 hold 400 horsepower? I was going to ask John Cope about that. I'm sure he can make one heavy duty. Yeah, what you need, though, is that bolt-in sprag. Because that sprag lets loose and comes through the floor. It'll take your leg off.
Yeah, I think with a sprag and a billet drum that it'll hold lots more than 4. So I don't know where the cutoff though that it needs the bigger one is, but
You know, I'm 100 miles from downtown Chicago. Look for Bloomington, Normal. Okay, I know where that area is. Normal. Well, if you've lived in Illinois, you know where Rantoul and Champaign are. But when I was in Rantoul, you know, the Air Force Base was still there. I've been back there numerous times, but you know, it's kind of funny because Air Force Base isn't there anymore. That's where I went to school. Man, there was a guy I worked with. He's one of my bosses in Maryland, and he and I were both in the Air Force at the same time at in Rantoul at Chanute Air Force Base. We both went to school there at the same time, but we never knew each other. And then I got to Maryland, and you know, like 40 years later, there he is, and we get talking one day, and we figured out we were in the same place at the same time, and we just didn't know each other there. Bringing slant 6, scavenge the pull chain off an old unused light fixture. Oh, that kind of chain. Some round stock for the post, and maybe fanciest part is making the round inserts to go in the small and big ends of the rods. The inner goes, yes, both. Yeah. Okay, bringing slant 6, clamping fixture to run up and down on the upright posts. Patrick Sullivan, BNR. I lived in Bloomington for several years, currently in Assumption. Okay, here's where the memory's going to get me. So what I need to do, I do this for later. I take a picture of the chat, and then I can refresh my memory later when I look at something.
What are you taking pictures of today?
The chat. They're all talking about where they are and the names and stuff, and then I kind of know where all this stuff is, and then until somebody says currently in Assumption, then I'm like, ugh. I don't know where that is. Patrick Sullivan, Penske Auto, and Tom Dooley's.
Sounds like an advertisement.
60 minutes south of Bloomington. You can talk about where they are.
You get 2 points.
Kim, what are you doing?
Your advertisers.
You're going to work now? You know what I need to do? It's like creeping up on midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to go to the doctor tomorrow, and I got to get some sleep. And I don't like it when I don't sleep all night and then go to the doctor. I feel like crap. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to wind this down.
Yeah. Okay. We've been on plenty.
We've been on for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go on time. I was just thinking.
Okay, why don't you get up here, Kim, so you can say goodnight.
Say goodnight. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. We enjoyed it. If you have stayed till what has become the end of the stream, I award you 2 additional points. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for everyone who commented and kept the conversation going and interesting and real. Kept it real. That's good.
Buddy CRS, yeah, I got that too.
Um,
All right, I'm going to say goodnight.